Hi, my name's Miranda. July of 2025.
July.
Hi, my name's Emma and I graduate in July of 2025.
My name is Michelle Mendoza and I graduate in December 8th.
My name is Manucci. I'm graduating in December 2024.
My name is Lucia and I'll be graduating next July.
Savannah Harden, July 2025.
Nicole Castaneda, July 17th, I believe.
Okay.
2025.
All right.
I'm Diana Hernandez and I graduate this December.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth and I graduate in February 2025.
Hi, my name is Erica Bilby and I graduate in July 25.
Sailor and July 2025.
I'm Maria and I graduate in July.
My name is Doris Moore and I graduate in December.
Amanda and I graduate in July 17th, I believe.
That's 2025.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Blandon. I graduate July of 2025.
So I'm Angela, my last name is Drole, and I'm scheduled to graduate in December, actually in February, but I may be taking a test early.
Lizelle, and I graduate in December.
Yeah.
Okay guys, these are all, whether you know it or not, past students of mine. 2 are from 1819 and some are from 2021? 22. 22? Okay. So, David and Yelly are stylists now at Roberts of Philadelphia. Aaliyah and Raylyn are working to get there and they're about to the point where they're going to go on the floor. So Roberts is actually looking for assistants to take places of people that have already come from here. And Robert really likes the school because they have a really good track record of sticking it out and becoming successful hairstylists, okay? So for cohort 2, this is kind of a let them get to know you, okay? And then you can go and apply and go in for an interview. For cohort 1, this is a come on by, shadow us, see what it's all about, okay? So it has advantages for both of you. And Robert Zalella will be here later. He is the owner of Roberts of Philadelphia. So everybody needs to be on like extremely good behavior today. That means you don't get in arguments with me today. That's what that means. Everybody got that? Good.
Yay. Thank you so
David,
much.
it's all yours.
So I know I've met most of you guys, or the first cohort that started back in February. So my name is David. I've been with Roberts now almost 6 years, and I started working there while I was still in school. So I would go to school during the day, and then after school I'd go work like 2-3 hours until I was finished with school, and then I just jumped in full time. So basically, like Ms. Shaner said, Aaliyah and Raylyn are currently in our associate program and are making the steps now of going onto the floor as junior stylists. And we take our associate program extremely serious. So the state of Florida requires you 1,200 hours before you get your license. We require an additional 1,500 to 2,000 hours worth of training before you even touch a client. Why is that? Is because we have been in business for over 40 years and we have a reputation. Now that doesn't mean you're not skilled or don't have the skills to produce great work. It's that we cannot afford to put someone new on the floor, and just in case there's a little discrepancy of maybe confidence or skill, or you're throwing something that possibly you're not ready for. So the associate program is something that we take serious to get you ready. That way when you are ready to go on the floor, you're thrown a service and you're like, oh yeah, I got this, I could do this. And able to charge what we charge as a junior stylist. Our goal with the associate program is to build good stylists and to build long-lasting stylists. We don't have much turnaround. Sorry, I'm out of breath, I don't know why. Probably had to walk 10 miles to get here. But, our goal with the associate program is, again, to build great stylists. Most stylists outside of school don't last 5 years, and then they're on to the next career. So our goal is to keep you and to guide you. Most of our stylists have been with Robert of Philadelphia for 25, 30, 40 years. Some have been since the very beginning in 1980. most of you weren't even born yet. So,
I wouldn't be most, it would be pretty much.
yeah. Yeah. So we are from the Bayfront location, and we have 2 other locations in Southwest Florida, 3 total. We have one in Venetian Village down in Gulf Shore Boulevard, and then we have one in Bonita Springs in the Bonita Bay area. It's called the Promenade. So all 3 have their own little doings and how they work, but we all work under the same umbrella of Robert of Philadelphia. And yeah, so we always invite you in to shadow. We have a 3-step interview process, and what that means is the first step, maybe. Step number 1 is you interview us. There's nothing more annoying than you go to a job and you put on a front and you get the job and you're like, oh my God, I absolutely hate it here. So our goal is for you to come in, meet with us, see if it's a fit, see if it works, see if you mesh with us, if you like us. And if that process goes well, we invite you back for more of a formal interview. If you reach number 2, that means we like you. And then that is like the meat and potatoes of the interview. So what we expect as an associate, what the program will look like, how long you'll be in the program. And then the 3rd interview is an actual service. If you get to this point, we really like you. So it's either a blow dry or a haircut. It's not necessary to see how good or bad you are at the service. We just want to see where you're at. And this service is kind of the stepping stone of where we need to meet you. Not necessarily like, oh, they're really bad at this service, so we can't hire them. That's not our goal. We expect you to be not the best, but we expect you to be able to grow from whatever level you're at. Now, some students come in and they can perform an amazing blow dry. They might not need as much time in the associate program. Some students come in and they're like, don't even know how to turn the blow dryer on. They need a lot of time in the associate program. What we're trying to get away from is 1 to 2 years as an associate and more of a 6 to 12 months as an associate. So no more long term. Our goal is for an associate to come in, maybe for a season, which you know in Southwest Florida, a season runs from October to May, maybe beginning of June. It's getting weirder every year. And then by summertime, you should have some floor time where you actually take clients in our salon. That doesn't mean you're full-time on the floor. Maybe you assist some days, maybe you don't. But you have opportunity to grow your books. So that's kind of the interview process that we do. Now, one thing that we started requiring before you can enter our associate program is, I don't know, I'm not good at whiteboards. You must be licensed. I don't know if I'm spelling that right, but whatever. Looks like
No.
Licensed. So you must be licensed. That doesn't mean you must be licensed to be hired, but you must be licensed to go through an associate program. We're putting the effort and money into your training. You need to do the same into your training as well. Why go through all this school? Not to get licensed, right? So you can get hired, but then you can't do anything.
Well, all you do is shampoo.
So you're not an associate, you're an assistant, right? So that's kind of the basics of what we require as an associate right now. And like I said, everybody's different that comes in. We visit a lot of schools, not just Lorenzo Walker. So we have interviews and students come in from every cosmetology school in Southwest Florida. Paul Mitchell, Cosmo, Fantastic Sam's. Those are great opportunities if that's something you want to do, but that's not how we work at Robert of Philadelphia. So our goal is to coach you, train you, prepare you for the levels of success that you want to have, right? So That's kind of the associate program Cliff Notes. If you come into our salon, you'll see more of what they do. It is a lot of behind the scenes work too, like folding towels, laundry, cleaning, shampooing, but also on every Monday, except today, like Ray and Aaliyah would normally be in class and they would be learning a technique that they possibly don't know or need help on. So that's kind of what we do. Yeah, maybe Ray and Aaliyah can chat about their service. Or Aaliyah, I know Ray's nervous.
Oh, it's fine. So basically, like as an associate, what I do, I get there, I prep for the day. Sometimes, like for David, like I'll pull formulas. So when in season, we're really busy, so he's jumping from client to client to client. So it's just easier if that's already ready and out. I'll mix color for him, do shampoos, apply toners, pretty much.
So Ray works exclusively under me, and I can't, especially on a busy day, cannot function without an associate. Sorry, thank you. I can't function without an associate, only because I'm the kind of person that needs structure, and I like to know so-and-so's coming at 10, the next person's at 10:20, and I need to know that every part of my day is going to flow easily. So Ray is like, besides the actual service, Ray is running the show. I'm gonna do the work, but Ray's gonna prep everybody. Ray knows, Ray can look at me and not even say a word, and I know what she's talking about. And I know like, okay, this person's gonna be set up in the color room, so I can wrap up with client number 1 and move right into client number 2. Not every day is perfect. Some days we run behind, that's common. But our goal is to be on time for everybody. So Ray is a huge support, not just for me, but for all stylists in our salons. And maybe Aaliyah can chat.
Well, I have been working at another salon before working at Roberts for like 2 years, and I do have to say that I wish I came to work at Roberts after I like graduated from Lorenzo, because I do feel like maybe they like, pushed me like a lot, like not to like, where I don't feel comfortable, but like maybe like, for example, David can probably know like I can like, do like a really good blow dry or can apply color really good. He'll be like, okay, Aaliyah can do this and stuff like that. So I feel like a lot of stylists in Roberts of Philadelphia wants you to succeed and wants you to, feel comfortable. They'll probably know like, okay, she is comfortable, but maybe she doesn't know that she, But yeah, I mean.
Hi guys. My nombre es Yalixa. I'm sorry. My name is Yalixa Sanchez. And I had my student. David and me, we went in the same class with the same teacher. So we were sitting in some of those chairs at some point. And we know that, at least on my experience, and we talk a lot about that, at some point in our head, we were like, I want to go on the floor from here, because that's what you want to do most. You want to do real people. You don't want to, have another process of learning. So I'm just going to talk about my experience. When I finished school, I felt really good about my haircuts and blow dryers, and I really love doing highlights and all that. So the crew from Robert of Philadelphia came here. No, we went to one of the classes, and they invited us to shadow and all that. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I still don't have my license. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I went, and I absolutely love it. And few weeks later, I started working there. But my big surprise was that I was really not ready to do haircuts. So I always make a joke with one of the senior hairstylists because she's been for how long has been Lisa?
Lisa started in 1988.
So she's one of the oldest one, right? So she have all the experience in the world, all the patience to teach us both. And when she laid out how to do a haircut, and that was a simple haircut, one length normal haircut, that's when I discovered that I needed to learn much more than what I did at school with only or mostly manicures, because it's definitely not the same. And I'm very, very glad, because the more time you spend assisting and learning before you actually jump into doing clients, the more confidence you will have. And trust me, one thing is to think that you're ready, and another thing is to really be behind the chair with the client in front of you, looking at every move that you make, every face that you put on, like every word that you say. You need to really know what you're doing to gain that client's confidence, because you don't want to be able to do that client just once. The goal is to be able to do that client leave, and for that client to leave very happy and to talk about how amazing you are. And to be able to do that, or to get there, you need a lot of training. And that's just my experience, and I'm just talking, I don't know, I respect if anyone else thinks something different, but that was my experience, and I'm very, very glad that I started with that process. And like David said, we have different, from our class, there was 3 of us, right? You, me, and Hannah. And we went into the floor at different times. I was able to get to do blow dryers on client and assist like 3 months after I start working there. Some people didn't want to do both at the same time. For me, I was just having fun, being able to at least touch one of the clients besides doing the shampoo. And yes, the shampoo, just the shampoo, that was a big deal for me, because I felt like really close to somebody, like right in their face, that I didn't know.
It's an intimate experience.
It's a very intimate experience. So that's when like when you start doing the shampoos on real clients and feeling their scalp, like how different, like it's so crazy how, all these little details. And that, the more that you are used to that, the more you'll be confident to perform your services and succeed at this career.
There's a quote, Lou, and you, Ms. Shannon, sorry, that you say all the time, and it sticks with me, and I'll summarize it, is put in the work now so you have a long career, or don't put in the work so your career is just struggle the entire time.
Oh yeah, it comes from Carnegie.
So it's like, why would I...
Either you can put the sweat into it now, okay, or you can do it for your entire life.
So...
It's like one or the other. You get your choice.
Yeah.
Make the right choice.
So I know some people are eager. Oh, I just want to get on the floor. I want to start making money. I want to do my thing. I want to be successful. But I also want to be a hairstylist for the next 50 years. I want to retire, and I want to, yeah, if my back can handle it. So I invite you guys to visit our locations, Bayfront, Venetian Village, or Promenade if you live in North Fort Myers, Bonita Springs. Each salon operates a little differently. They have different vibes. They call us sisters, but we're not triplets, so we all operate a little different. All of us happen to work at the Bayfront location. You can always come in and shadow after school. You can, I think you can book right online. You just go online and click shadow, and you can book a time. Or just stop in, just be like, hey, I just want to shadow for an hour, 2 hours. When I first started at Robert Philadelphia, I would shadow. I would go like every day, not even getting paid. I would just show up, and that's how I kind of got the job. Robert was like, well, you're here anyway, so we might as well put you on the payroll. So that's how I kind of got hired.
For how long did you shadow?
Probably like a good month. I would go every single day after school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I went two times.
Yeah. So me and Yelly, obviously we traveled together. I mean, we've traveled from in the classroom on the floor, and me and Yelly were real close in the salon here, and then we sit right next to each other in the salon at Roberts. We rely on each other. I ask a lot of questions about color. She'll ask me stuff, and I'm just like, we collaborate, and that's the best thing about our salon is that we collaborate a lot. No one's left in the weeds. No one's left to fail. Even senior stylists, they'll come up to me, and I'll be like, why are you asking me? You know? But they need some advice about maybe a fresher mind. Some people who have been doing hair a long time can get a little stagnant if they're not upping their education. So we value an associate program, and if you put in the work in the early on in your career, you're going to have a long-lasting career. If you don't put in the work, you're probably going to struggle.
Less stress.
Yeah.
And
So,
I feel like because if you don't put the work, then that's when you want to quit because you're like, we've been like after school, after even being on the floor. At the very beginning, we were very, very nervous. Mm-hmm. Even though those clients knew us and we already knew the color and we have the formulas and all that. But because, like, if you decide not to get all the training that you need, then the struggle will be real. And it just makes you want to cry and shake and everything at the same time. And it will be very easy to decide, you know what, I'm going to try something different that pays me money without being so stressed. And maybe you have the talent and you just needed 6 months more, a year of the, more training to be that stylist that you may dream becoming.
yeah. So if you guys have any questions, you can always DM us on Instagram at ROP Salons. Or you can call the salon and come shadow. You don't have to shadow me or Yelly. You can shadow anybody in the salon. Typically what we do for shadowing is you come in, we introduce you to everybody, and then you can watch someone. Some people are doing keratin, some people are doing extensions, some people are doing color. Some people are doing hair cutting, blow dries. It just depends. You can watch someone shampoo. Like I said, shampooing experience is very intimate, even if you think it's not. It's very different when you're standing in front of someone and you're massaging their head. It's like, oh, okay.
It's different than doing it on class.
Yeah. So.
You know the class.
Yeah. And then you work with a wide variety. I have clients as young as 14. I have clients as old as 96. So you work on different variety of people. So it's a fun experience. And, there might be times where you're like, oh, I don't want to go to another class. I don't want to, I already know this. But it does take out the stress in the long term of your career to learn and to perfect the service that you're learning. And it's not to say that you won't make mistakes in your career. We make mistakes all the time. There's times when I'm like, okay, I'm not using that color again. Or, okay, you're not confident with that haircut or whatever the case may be. Those are going to arise throughout your career. But we want to make sure that you're developing skill so that your client is pre-booked, you're making money, and you're gaining a reputation for your service. And this is not just cosmetology. This is barbering. This is facials. This is the whole entire cosmetology umbrella, whatever you decide to go into, right? A makeup artist. If you're a good makeup artist and you are confident and you have good customer service and you are confident in your skill, you're going to be successful. But how often do we hear that makeup artist, she might be good at what she does, but she's just really not nice? That's, we teach that too. It's not just skill in hair, but skill in customer service. So I could chat all day about the associate program. Again, I do invite you guys to come to either our salons. Just show up and just be like, hey, I'm from the school. I just wanted to shadow today. I know that the Venetian Village location, I believe, is looking for 3 associates to start. It's down on Gulf Shore Boulevard.
And
it's a really nice salon. I think Bayfront is looking for 1 possibly, and then I'm not sure, I can check if anybody lives close to Bonita, that's always an option too. So next we're gonna, before we break off, do you want me to do consultations with everybody?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So everybody take out a piece of paper for me, and I'll have Ray and Aaliyah sit down. So today we're doing a highlight service in foils. And on the piece of paper on the right side or left side, you can put Ray. And on the left side, right side, you can put Aaliyah. I can't be a teacher. All right, so if you go ahead and put Ray on one side, Aaliyah on the other side, and one by one or table by table, I want you guys to come up and look at their hair, and I want you to write down anything that you notice about their hair before we start getting into the consultation. So even if you just started, come up here, let's go ahead and take a look at their hair, and this table right here, go ahead and come up and take a look at their hair, feel it, touch it. Things to notice. Notice that they have previous color. Maybe notice their natural level. Is there any gray? Highlights. So you notice that, maybe they've had previous color done.
Feel the texture of the hair too, how different they will be.
And I want you in your head to think of what questions you would ask in your consultation. So what questions would you ask? And when you're ready, you can go back to your table and write down what you would ask this client. So if this was your client, what would you ask them in the consultation?
Should they write down like at least 5?
Whatever you have. If you have questions, be like, oh, I noticed this in Aaliyah's hair. I should ask that if I'm going to do color on her. And let's get that back table. Come on up, take a look, feel it, touch it. Notice their scalp too. Do we have any discrepancies in their scalp? All of these things are going to matter when performing a color service, right? So what questions would you ask this client if they were in your chair prepared for a highlight service? So I'll give you a hint. You may notice that each client does have previous color. Does that matter when performing a new color service? Maybe, maybe not. Depending on what you're doing. Second front table, you guys can start to come up. Take a look, feel it, touch it. Hey, get comfortable with touching people. This is your career. Get comfortable touching people. This is your career. Touch their hair, touch their scalp, feel it. What does it look like? What do you notice? Notice the natural levels. What level do you think Ray and Aaliyah are? Do you guys know level systems? Yes, I'm sure you do. You know, okay. Well, if you don't know level systems, level 1 would be what? Black. Level 10 would be what? The highest blonde you can get. You can go higher, but then your hair's on the floor. So notice, these are 2 different levels. Aaliyah is much darker than Ray, naturally, right? So notice those levels. What levels do you notice? Why would levels make a difference in your service? Write that down. Why do levels make a difference? I know I'm throwing a lot at you.
That's a good observation.
Hello. So write down, whatever comes to mind. You don't need to write down 20 things, just whatever comes to mind. Back table, go ahead and come on up. Feel it, touch it. Check out the scalp. Again, what is the natural level of their starting hair? Do they have previous color? Yes or no? Think of questions that you would ask your client if this was your client in the chair. Is this how you style your hair? Is this your hair natural? Did you blow out your hair this morning? You know? When I first started doing color, I was nervous to ask questions. Now I'm annoying. I'm gonna ask you everything. Because you ain't gonna put me in a spot. So take a note. Do they have previous color on their hair? Do they have a natural level that makes sense? Again, level 2 in Wella, we work with Wella. Level 2 is a dark brown black. Level 10 is the lightest blonde you can go. Do they have damage? How are their ends? Am I able to perform a service, or do I have to turn this client away? It's okay to say, hey, the integrity of your hair is not good. I can't put bleach on your hair. Never perform a service just to make $1 and then ruin someone's hair, right? Have integrity. So we'll start with Ray. So you notice Ray has previous lightened hair. What are some questions that you would ask Ray if she came in for a full head of highlights? What are some questions that you would ask her? Anybody? Yes?
How long has it been since your previous service?
That's good, yeah. How long has it been since your previous service? Why would you ask that?
Because you need to know kind of what's going on before you just start applying chemicals.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great answer. Another answer to that would be, do I have enough room to prevent overlapping? Right? I don't want to overlap blonde on blonde. What happens when you overlap? Breakage. And then you tell your client, oh no, that's just new growth. What else do we notice about Ray's hair? What about the natural level? From a 2 black to a 10, this is bothering me, sorry. From a 2 black to a 10 blonde, what level do you think Ray's natural color is? So 2 is black, like you. Blonde, 10 is like me. Where does Ray fall in between 2 and blonde?
Maybe like a 7.
Yeah, like a 7, yeah. So why would I need to know the natural level of someone's hair? How far I can lift it? Yeah, maybe the level of developer. I don't need to go in with a super intense developer. I can go in with something smaller, softer. Because I don't need to lift 6 levels. I need to lift 3 levels, right? So I'm not going to go in with 30 volume on Ray because I'm gonna run into a problem. I'm going to have to pull foils. I'm going to have to, stress myself out. What else do we notice about Ray's hair? What are some questions that you may ask her with this table here? I can read them if you want. Yeah.
Product she uses?
Yeah, so that's a good option too, right? Why would I need to know what product she uses at home? Shampoo, conditioner. Why would I need to know that? I'll give you a hint. If I spend a half a day with Ray, and Ray spends $600 on her color, and she tells me, oh, I just use whatever my husband buys. What men, they buy a 3-in-1 Dove shampoo, conditioner, body wash. What will that do to now the $600 service that I just performed? It's not going to do good things. So it's good to know, hey, what do you shampoo with? Because if you tell me Dove, I'm going to be very angry. Dove's fine if that's what you want, but it's not going to help you in your color journey, right? That doesn't mean go and buy a $100 shampoo, but have something that's more color projected or color safe. Table back there, what do you notice about Ray's hair? Color. I'm looking for one specific question that you would ask Ray about.
I would ask about her lifestyle.
because she has somewhat of a tan,
Mhm.
so I think she spends time outside.
Yeah.
And if she spends a lot of time on her hair, or if she wants something quick and easy to clip up,
Yeah.
and if she possibly swims, if she's in a chlorinated pool, anything like that.
Good question. I tell my blondes, you are not allowed to go in a pool. No chlorine. But that's true. Ray is extremely active. She's in the gym. Her hair is constantly in a clip. She goes to the beach. She's on the boat. So yeah, that's a good question to ask. Like, what do you do outside of here that is going to potentially ruin what I just did? Right? So good question. So one thing I would definitely ask someone who has highlights is, what is your hair history? And those who follow me in the room will go into more detail about that. But I want to know I can tell her natural, and I can see some banding, right? So that tells me there's a history there. There's a history of color. So I need to know, before I lighten her hair, what's under here. True or false? If I cover highlights, highlights go away. False. False. If you put black dye on blonde hair, the blonde hair is still there. It just has black dye on it, right? So I need to know that, because if then you dye your hair dark, which Ray did, and then wants to go back to blonde, it's a different process of how we work. Yeah. Oh, Ray's used to it. Ray's used to it.
Thinks that when you color their hair with dark dye, their blonde hair has gone away and it doesn't matter anymore.
All right. So Aaliyah has similar, never mind, scratch that. Aaliyah does not have similar. So what do we notice about Aaliyah's hair? Let's start with level. This table back here. What level do you think? Remember, 2 being the darkest in Wella, 10 being the lightest. What level do you think Aaliyah is naturally?
2 or 3.
Pretty close. I'd say like a 4 or 5. Yeah. So 2 being black hair, black.
Like maybe they see it because it's a little like wet, but when it's dry, you probably see
Yeah,
that
that's true.
4 and 5.
So what else do we notice about Aaliyah's hair?
She has previous color.
Previous color, yeah. You can see her ends have been lightened. Previous, like maybe a balayage she had over the years. What else? What about texture?
Wavy.
Wavy? Why would that matter, texture with lightening service?
If you don't want to damage the waves.
Yeah, right? We want to protect her natural curve, her natural wave. We want to make sure that we're doing Aaliyah a service that's not going to damage her natural wave. Again, same questions. Lifestyle is huge. Aaliyah, what do you do? Aaliyah is a runner. She likes to work out. She's going to sweat. Aaliyah also blow dries her hair a lot. So that needs to know. There could be some heat damage, right? Now we notice Aaliyah has also lightened ends, but we know it's not as bright as Ray, right? So what would you say in comparison to Ray's level of blonde versus Aaliyah's level of blonde? Ray would be like a 9-10. Aaliyah would be like a 7-8. Aaliyah also has extremely thick hair. So if you went in there and you felt it, and say Aaliyah came in for a full foil, you better have a lot of time, because it's going to take some time. Anything else that we notice about Aaliyah's hair in front table? Porosity?
It's much smoother near her roots and much drier at the end.
And why would that be?
Because of the higher chemical
Yeah.
source on the ends.
Mhm.
She's got a lot of nice healthy new growth.
Yeah. Perfect, yeah. So that's a good thing. I mean, porosity is something that's huge, because what happens when your hair is super porous? If you go put a toner on it, it's going to attach, and then you're going to have miscolor. So like, this will be different, and then these ends will just be like, whatever happened, I don't know. But that client's going to notice. That client's going to be pissed, because they just paid $600, and they're walking out with hair they don't want. And then they're going to go on Google, and then they're going to mention you by name, and then whatever, you know? So we don't want that. We want to prevent that. Notice both women have side parts. Does that matter when foiling? Why? Placement? Yeah. So if I were to say, well, screw her part, I'm going to focus on down the middle, what would that do to her foil placement? Besides making it not right.
It could really change the look of it.
Yeah, it could completely change the look, and then now Aaliyah has to change her part to combat where her foils lay. And that just doesn't make sense. Why would, we have to combat where Aaliyah parts her hair. Same with Ray. And those who follow me in the room will know more too about that. Any other little things maybe we didn't touch on that you may think before starting a highlight service? Yeah.
They're allergic to anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know that there's on the scalp lightener and off the scalp lightener. Why would there be a difference? So when I bleached my hair, I used on the scalp lightener because it would tear my scalp up. I would have just welts and it would be nasty. Typically, most powder lighteners are off the scalp, but if you're lightening through a foil, you don't put it on the scalp. Any other things that we may have noticed before we start to color? Anything? There's no right or wrong answer, trust me. One thing I would ask Aaliyah, if she came in and said, David, I want you to make me as blonde as possible. I'd be like, okay, not today, but we'll do as much as we can. What would we need to do to add on someone that wants to be as blonde as possible? What's a service we can add on? Super easy. Maybe a haircut? Because what happens if someone comes in and says, I want to be as blonde as possible? What are those ends going to feel like? I could do it, but your ends are going to be mad. So we're going to have to add on a haircut, or you're going to get a chemical haircut. Which one do you want? A haircut or a chemical haircut? So yeah, those are all good things that we talk about during consultations in a lightening service. Do you have any added things you can add?
Oh, no, pretty much. Like, the amount of hair that Aaliyah had can be overwhelming, and I think that's why we thought that it would be a good idea to perform something that will be accomplished in, 15 foils. And it will be even less if the client has less hair. But that will allow you guys to see the before and after from the roots to, all the way to the meat chap. And with Ray, we're gonna refresh. So both of them will be a refresh kind of service, but just trying to make it quick for you guys to be able to perform it too. And feel free to ask any questions, because we're here just to, try to help you in any way we can. And if you don't want to do it out loud, you can get close to us and ask any question.
And just note that both Ray and Aaliyah don't have gray hair, so that changes the service.
Aaliyah have 2 gray hairs.
2 gray hairs? We're not going to worry about those 2. And they both want to keep a lot of their natural. They want more dimension. They want to be natural looking, sun-kissed, if you will. So it's not a transformational service that we're going to perform today. It's more of just brightening up. You can see Ray has a good root. Aaliyah obviously has a lot of roots in her hair. So I'm going to perform on Ray more traditional face framing, and then Yeli's going to do a service that is quick and easy, 15 foils or less, that you can add on to somebody who's looking for a change but not ready for the commitment.
And it will have a nice grow out.
Yeah.
Aaliyah doesn't have time to come to the salon every 2 weeks.
So, all right, cool. So the ones that are following us in the room, give us like 10 minutes, and then we'll set up the color and get everything ready, and then we'll go from there. And Rob's here. Saw him walk in. Yeah, Rob, we're going to go set up, so if you want to chat 10 minutes. I need brushes and bowls, but I have everything else.
What did I miss? What's been happening? Oh, thanks. Good morning. Hi.
How are you?
How you doing? Good to see you. So what's going on? What's happening this morning? What are they doing? And what did they do the first hour? What have you guys been up to? Consultation. What else did they tell you about?
The associate program.
Okay. So who's in the room? Is this, are you all at the same level? Are you at different groups? Okay, so tell me who's here.
Should we just have George stand up real quick? Half of some of us are from February. And some
Okay.
Of us are from August.
So those from February, you graduate when?
December.
Oh, real soon. Okay, who's in that group? Okay, exciting for you, huh? Getting to the wire. All right. And the rest of you, raise your hands. Let me see who else is left. Okay, so you guys graduate when? What's your target? July. Okay, awesome. How's it going so far? Okay, Monday morning, whatever, just something else. Is this different from your normal Monday morning to have somebody here than what you normally do? Yeah. Did you have a chance to ask any questions? What's on your minds? How's it going for you? Like anything at all about the industry? So let me tell you a little bit about myself first. I'm one of the owners of Robert of Philadelphia Salons. We have 3 locations. We have 55 team members. We are an employee-based salon, so everybody is an employee. It's not a rental or a commission structure. They're all actual employees. We've been in business since 1980. We hire a lot of people from this program. Many of our most successful have been through this program. I know there's a lot of fancy schools and expensive schools out there, but for some reason, you guys have had to work harder to get through this program than anybody else anywhere else. So there's something special about all of you in your journey in becoming a stylist. So it's important for me as one of the owners is that you are successful in this business. Not necessarily with us. It could be with us, but it could be anywhere. But there's a lot of people who do this program who in 5 years are not in the hair business anymore. Only about 20% of graduates of cosmetology school are still in the business in 5 years, which is a sad statistic to me. I mean, you've fought hard to be here. You've worked hard through this program. You know, many of you, your parents may have said, oh, you need to go to college. You need to go this other route first. And you had to deal with whatever they said about this program or whatever the world says about cosmetology, because it's usually like a secondary thing. Oh, you should go learn about finance or banking or whatever it is, or be an accountant or be somebody else, but not this. This is only if you fail at everything else. It's kind of the nature of this business, sadly. Although, most of the people in our company have incredible lives, make great livings, and love what they do. They enjoy getting out of bed every morning and being at the salon, because you get to change people's lives. You literally get to touch people's lives and transform them in a way that nobody else can. You do things for people that, a psychologist can't do. A psychiatrist, a plastic surgeon is the next closest thing. Like altering the way somebody looks, because it changes how they feel forever. Like you'll alter their life in that 1 hour in a way that they won't even know that they needed. But they get it, and once they get it and they're looking at themselves every day, they just feel like a whole new human being. And you did that. That's what's so cool about this business. So it's really important to me that you win, that you succeed. So our company is very committed to having you succeed even once you graduate from here. So if you go out in the world and you are struggling in any area of the business, we are always there for you. We have 3 locations and our whole team of people. We have an open door policy for everyone. If there's anything you need in the industry or in the business that we can support you in to be successful, we will be there for you. And that, I mean that 1,000%. It matters to me personally because I see so many people who go through life just existing. The people who work at the bank or they have these secure jobs that look secure. They have their 9 to 5, they have their 401k, they have their health insurance, but they're not passionate about it. They don't love it. They're doing it to pay the bills. And that's just not a form of of really living life. You know, it's just kind of doing time until you get to that place where, oh, I'll retire someday. And then they retire, and then sadly a lot of people end up dying not long after that, but they didn't live their life. They're just doing time. And in this business, I love to get to see how people are truly passionate, love to get up. Like Monday morning is not a problem for people. They love it. They can't wait to see that first guest. They're thrilled about the opportunity to change their life. And, you know, to be excited about being with the people that they work with every day, to be thrilled about what you get to do. That really matters to me. So what it provides for people is the ability to just do what you love and be passionate about it and not just do time and pay the bills. You know, that I see too many people do that and just go through life and just not really living in the moment. They're living for someday. Like someday I'll be happy. Someday life will be great. Someday, you know, it'll be okay. But right now, you know, got to get through this week. You know, why do you think they have that stupid phrase, thank God it's Friday? It's Friday, you know, like, oh, the weekend, I finally get to do that. But what if every day was like that? So you picked the right business. You picked a great industry. I mean, it's just extraordinary. So I really acknowledge you for that. I acknowledge you for having the courage to take the leap into this industry, no matter what you did before or what path you were aligned to do. Maybe it's always been in your heart. Maybe it's something you've always wanted to do. And you made it happen. So it takes a lot. And I know you work harder in this program. You know, they don't just hand it to you here. You definitely have to do the work in a different way in your program here. I see all the schools. There's a lot of them around here. Some are for $25,000 a year. They got all these fancy kits and fancy facilities and beautiful looking building. But to me, I don't see them doing the work that you're doing. You know, the graduates that come out of those programs, I don't see them really having to struggle to go through whatever it takes to be great at it. And the graduates from here we've found are, you know, as much as those days where you go, oh, I don't like this. Oh, this sucks. Oh, this is frustrating. Why? Why do we have to do that? Why? She's making us do that again? Why? What is this? There's something to that, you know, than just having it just be easy. Even if it doesn't look like it's going to have nothing to do, or it's not going to have anything to do with what's out there in the real world. So it's really great that we have an opportunity. I'm honored for us to get to be here and spend some time with you. And if you leave with nothing today other than the fact that you know that we will be there for you, you're welcome in any of our locations at any time, all the time, and I promise you that. If you just want to pop in, you're in the area. If you want to come shadow for a day, if you want to come shadow for a week, we're always available to you. No matter what your future is, it doesn't mean you have to want to work there. You can, that's great too. But if you just want to get a taste or a flavor of the industry and be around other stylists and interview them and talk to them, our doors are always open for all of you, forever and always. I promise you that. So if you get nothing out of today but that's important to me. Okay, back to you. So I'd like to hear from some of you. Like first of all, up to just this point, what are you hearing? What's going on in your minds? What questions, concerns, just points do you have? What's going through your heads about what you've heard so far this morning? Talk to me. Yeah.
As a salon owner, how long did it take for your salon to get to where you wanted it to be at? Or how long did it take you to get to where you're at?
You know, I'm not at that place to where I want it to be. Like that's a never-ending, it's an unanswerable question. It's like it's never there. Because having a business, you know, in one day you could be at the highest of highs and it could be the best day in the world, and the next day there's a hurricane on the way and you're losing a whole week's worth of appointments. We lost 500 appointments in that 1 week. You can't get that time back. We sell time. So, you know, you're on top of the world, it's great, it's about to be season, and then, oh no, closed for a week. All those appointments are gone. So whatever plans I had are now different, and you know how this year's going to go is going to be different. So I think there are milestones along the way, but just like this business, like you never are done. You never are educated enough. You'll always have to be working on yourself and your skills. Like it's just never that plateau where you get to where, oh, I could just coast now. You know, and also what happens too is like whatever the next achievement or next level that we want to get to, or we want to have a certain retention rate. We want to retain, you know, we want to make sure that at least 60% of the people who come to us as a new guest are kept. We want to keep 60%. I mean, I'd love to keep 100, but in reality, to keep 60% would be a blessing, because in most cases, you know, the average in the industry is 25%. So that means 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 stays with that stylist. When they change stylists, only 1 out of 4 usually sticks around for whatever reason. So, you know, when we reach that milestone, okay, now what's next? So there's always something more and always something new to look at. You know, the transformation of our associate program. You know, we realize that all of you work at different paces and at different levels. You learn differently. You learn, some are real fast and catch on really quick, and some take longer. And because of that, we had to adjust our program too. So we had to, you know, have that evolve and make some changes to that, because some people can do it in 3 to 6 months, and some people take 2 years. They're great people, really hard workers, but it's just going to take them longer to get to that place. So we have to make adjustments. So, you know, just when we think we've got something handled, something new opens up or something new happens. So I don't know that I could say I'm at that place of, wow, we've made it. You know, people say, oh, 3 salons and 55 people, that's great. Not really. I mean, it sounds good, but there's, and I love it and I'm passionate about it because we have this tremendous family. I mean, there's nothing I would change about it at all, but it's not like I could be on the beach and watching the checks roll in, because the rent's so expensive and the expenses are so high, and you know, with inflation and the way things, the economic conditions of the world right now, you know, it's one more thing to deal with in our business. You know, that you just, you know, then people are hypersensitive about prices right now, even when they have a ton of money, which a lot of people do in this town, but they're still hypersensitive about it. You would think they had none with the conversations we had with some of these people, but they're still thought, because it's, you know, it's in the news, it's always, you know, it's always on their minds, and the stock market and all the rest of that. So people are always thinking about it. You have to take some of these guys.
Heat. So why do I need to worry about heat?
It'll process faster.
Faster, right? So I'm going to use a lighter developer, smaller developer, whatever the word you want to use, around her face, her hairline, because it's going to process faster than, say, anywhere else in the head. So that's why I have 2 developers. And then you can see, if you take a look at Ray's timeline, Ray went from blonde to reddish brown, and then we've been slowly taking her back to blonde. We're doing it this way because we want to do it healthy. And obviously, too, Ray was not forced, but it was highly recommended haircuts. That's why you see the length difference. She got a haircut. So, and the reason why I asked that question in class is because no matter how careful you are in a lightening surface, there's always going to be a little damage.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's not the client's fault. It's part of the game, you know. So that's why I chose 2 different lighteners. I hardly ever go over 20 volume. You'll never ever see me use 40 volume. Let's take, okay, Yeli, go ahead and explain what's in your bowl.
Okay, so I have a 20 developer, 20 volume, because she needs all the power. To be honest, I will use 30 on her, but we didn't bring it. So it's fine. And I've been using these because I'm gonna do like a teasing kind of foliage on hair for that nice natural grow. Her natural hair, her natural color will be my low light, kind of, to create that dimension. So these will help me a lot. And I brought this other one because sometimes, you know, depending on what I'm doing. So these will be my 2 tools, and I'm gonna use these to be able to get as much saturation as I can, because she needs all the help. And I'm mixing over there another ball with 20 volume too, because she doesn't need less. Just to whenever I start doing the very front, the goal is for everything to be able to process at the same time. Any questions? Does that make sense? Kind of. Okay, perfect.
The only difference in where we are today is we don't have a mirror. Typically, I know I like to use a mirror for reference, so I'll part and make sure in the mirror that it makes sense of what I'm doing. And you know, your parting, as we go through the foils, your parting will start to make sense, so you don't, you know, create color blocking. You want to keep the dimension, you want to make sure it looks natural. Unless it's not their goal. Your client may be in and be like, give me a shit show. And you're like, okay, say less, you know? Let me do it. So we're going to get started.
Also take into consideration the natural part that she has. So usually, are you going to start right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I need to start as soon as possible with my... So I want to take half of the, and that's like my rule. So if her hair part's right there or in the middle, a good you know, way to know where to part will be taking half of what she have on this side and then on the other side, so that way both of those areas have enough light. And yes, we do need the mirror, because usually I will see how, you know, how good I am related to this natural section to the section I'm taking to work on.
And notice too, Aaliyah's recession area, right?
Yeah.
So that makes a difference too. Hairlines are not created equal. Everybody has different hairlines. So you might have someone that has a widow's peak, right, where it kind of caves down. You can't just go in with a flat foil. You have to kind of cater to their hairline. So it's never going to be the same with every person, and it's never going to be the same on each side. So how Yelly foils the left will be different on how Yelly possibly may foil the right. Same with Ray. Ray has a recession too. And everybody has a recession, men and women. Women have recessions too.
So notice how this is the part that will have more impact on every part of the hair, right? If I place highlights here, she will have extra color, but this is the most important area to highlight if the client wants that nice. And look at the back, like if you see the back, but the hair that will fall from here down will be able to blend that. If we have more time, we'll do more than 15 foils. But because you guys also want to play around, we need to like be quick.
So your tools are going to matter the most. I like to use a long rat tail comb. That matters a lot because it helps me get really close to the scalp. I know a lot of hairstylists say don't put down the comb. Guess what? I put it down every time. Because I want to make sure that I'm applying and have as much tension as possible. The client's not going to be like, oh, stop touching. You know, do you want to be blonde or you don't want to be blonde? So I'm staying like a 1/4 inch, maybe less than off the root, and then again, I'm not really overlapping her old blonde. And I'm going to fold once. And I'm going to fold. And the way I did it, I'm going to pick up my comb again. I'm going to flip under. I'm going to go back in, tighten it, lock it in. And I'm going to lock in the foil.
So in my case, I'm adding liner to the foil before I place the foils. I already tease here because I want that nice blend. Can you see there? and the tension, very important. So saturation and tension is very, very important. I will start from the middle because this is where I want more light, you know, and then bring it off to blend nicely. The teasing will already help me with the
So what are some things that you guys know or have learned in class about highlighting?
So this part, I'm sorry, David, she already has some previous highlights. I'm not gonna saturate the same way, but I do need to make this to blend a little bit, and if she gets a little lighter, she'll be extra happy. She may tip me.
Different techniques, yeah. Have you been able to practice?
Just a little bit,
Yeah.
not a lot, but a little bit.
Well, not all people. So to place my other foil, I'm sorry to interrupt, but to place my other foil, I don't want to bring this up, right? Because I want to keep it exactly the way it is right now. So this is how I will do it.
Robert in Philadelphia, do you get to pick your specialty, what you'd like to do?
I mean, we don't really have, like, you mean like color versus cutting? What do you mean specialty? Like you
Well-
only want to do one thing or the other?
Yeah, do you have, I know some salons have, like, somebody who just does color only.
Have
or
any
maybe
questions?
somebody just does extensions, or.
If that's,
So I want to cover.
if that's your,
sorry.
so go ahead.
I want to cover the most amount of space with less foil. So I'm gonna bring from here to the middle of it, a diagonal section, and then I'm gonna do another one that will meet right here in the middle of it. That way I'll get some of the sides part. Can you see there? And then I'll have the dimension that the natural hair will give me, but at the same time, I'll have a lot of impact here in the middle, you know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
What were you saying, David?
She asked if there is like specialty artists in our salon. There are people who specialize in hair cutting and color, but I would say they took years to get to that specialty rank. So coming out of school, I wouldn't worry about specializing. Now, if there's something you're stronger at, then that's different. And also, clients don't like, a lot of clients don't want to see multiple people.
Oh,
Yeah, I understand that.
They don't want to pay the colorist, then the cutter, and then they got to tip the shampoo girl, and they got to, you know.
It's professional, I don't think.
Yeah, but we do have people who only cut. That's how they were trained. But they're older stylists and maybe come from different countries where cosmetology differs. So notice,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
No.
So with Ray, I did 3 foils right here, and I'm kind of pivoting as I move up to her part line right here. So I went straight onto the scalp, or not on the scalp, but her hairline, and then I start to pivot, and then I'm gonna pivot, and then I'm gonna pivot again, so where I come horizontal. What that does, it creates, my goal is to create lightness all through here. You see all this dark right here? I want to create some lightness in there, but I don't want to go back this way, you know, because then I'm color blocking. I want to keep some of that. So again, Ray and Aaliyah have different levels of hair. That's why it's important to know. Okay, Ray is like a 7, Aaliyah is like a 5. And, you know, that matters. Like Yeli said, it might mean you need a stronger developer to break through that darker color, you know.
I don't remember what we did last time I did your highlights. Yeah, but I'm sure we did at least 25.
I know, David, I know you. So what do you use when you highlight?
I probably only use 20.
20? So he only did like the sides, remember?
I just did a base frame.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a more traditional foil, more like a baby light. I want the section to be smaller. I don't want it to be chunky. We don't want chunky. Now your client might walk in and be like, hell yeah, make it chunky. And that's your preference. I mean, you kind of at the beck and call of your client. So whatever the client wants, the client is going to receive. So you can see it's fresh up to the scalp. Yeah, sometimes they're like, nope, you're getting what I would give you. So I'm gonna go backwards just so I can make sure, once the lightener's on the foil, I can kind of let go of the hair, because it's already in there. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of lightener and kind of go close to the tree.
You guys have any questions?
Do you guys get to work on friends and family outside of school? Do you guys do that?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. So one thing we encourage our associates to do is to ask your friends and family, hey, come get your hair done. Typically, it just you pay for the color, which is like $40-50, and that way, stylists see you working. It's important for them to see you working. And once we get to that point of, oh wow, Aaliyah did a highlight and it looked really good, it shows the team that they can execute that service, and now we can book Aaliyah that service.
I recommend start blow drying your friends and family too. That's huge because it's on a cutter color. You can't mess anything up, and that's really probably going to be the first service you do in the salon. So definitely get good at those.
So did it freak you out to get a lot of your hair cut off?
I did cut a lot of hair.
Yeah,
She's been short before.
You got
Yeah.
about 3 to 4 inches maybe?
I would say like 7.
Yeah, because it's grown out, it was like a bob.
But it looks healthy and thick and very nice and neat.
Thank you, yeah. I have some breakage, but I blow dry my hair a lot. I use hot tools, so it's less from coloring and more from that.
And don't be afraid to get in their face too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna my back is bad. I'm not gonna manipulate my body to make them feel comfortable. So I will legit pull the hair and crush their face. That's just kind of like my thing.
This is actually what it is.
Yeah.
The clients laugh at it, but
Also
I'm like,
because you're working, one after the other, the client will leave. She can be tired a little bit, and that's fine. But you're gonna be doing things for the rest of your life. You want to make sure you take care of your back and everything else. So over here, it's a lot of saturation. Over here, if you lift this up, it doesn't have much. Because I just want to bring a little bit of it. I don't want to burn her hair. And what you were saying, Ray, it's very, very, very important because one of the great things about the salon is that, when you work with the as an assistant, the clients will get to know you. And then if one day you're like that happened to David this week, and he was just telling me this morning, he didn't have, so I'm gonna make another horizontal section to connect everything.
yeah, so Saturday I worked and I hurt my back, and it's much better now, I think. But I relied on Aaliyah. I told Aaliyah, I said, I need you 100% today. And I don't think she was prepared. But I literally was like, okay, Aaliyah's going to blow dry every client because I can't even stand up straight, and I can't, there's no way I can blow dry. And I wouldn't have had that if I didn't think Aaliyah was confident in blow drying in the service. But because I knew Aaliyah was confident, I wasn't nervous. And what I do when I work with an associate, I don't ever say, or I try not to say, or you can tell me if I do. I don't say, this is my assistant, Ray. I try to say, this is my co-stylist, Ray, because she is. She's licensed, she's capable of doing hair, she knows everything, she knows what to do. So I don't say, this is my assistant. All right, I say, this is my co-stylist, Ray, or this is my friend, Ray. And now they know Ray. And typically, the client will see Ray before they see me. Because Ray knows when the client gets there. The front desk knows to tell Ray first. I might be wrapping up with someone. They're not going to come tell me my next client's here. They're going to tell Ray, because then Ray can go and set up my next client. So when the client gets here, they know, they see Ray coming, oh, that's David, that's for David. She's going to set me up for David. And then Ray goes and sets up pre-guard, which is like color blocker, gets them all caked up so that I literally walk up, hey, how's it going? What are we doing today? And then we get started.
And when you were assisting Lisa at that moment, or me, the other stylist, because the clients will see me every time, they will not because I feel like the confidence with the clients start always at the bowl when you're shampooing. If you are able to perform a good shampoo, they'll be like, she can do my blowout.
Yeah.
You know? So that's why those little things are so very important. And like being able to assist at the beginning will give you all the confidence that you need later on, you know, to perform. And the clients will be very forgiving. You know, one of the amazing things is that if I have to go back and ask any question to anybody, because I'm not 100% sure what kind of service I want to do or what color I want to use or whatever, they'll feel okay. You know, they will even appreciate it while you're working on a salon by yourself. Who are you gonna ask? You know. So there is a lot of.
Yeah, we rely on each other a lot. We collaborate a lot because you know we share a lot of clients too. So you know we have clients that they don't care who they see; they just want their color done. Yeah. So we have to rely on that communication and notes in the client's file so that their hair stays consistent. No matter if I do it or Yelly does it or Ray does it or Aaliyah does it or anybody does it, they know that they can go to anybody in the salon and it can be consistent.
I think another nice thing is that you're also connecting like with the clients and like let's say like they're very observant, honestly, most of our clients. So they'll probably look at you like blow drying somebody's client and be like, oh my god, like that client is like, you know, that her blow dry is really beautiful. Like I want her to blow dry my hair, you know, on my next appointment. And some of the clients will literally be on your book, maybe, you know, just for like foils or color. So I think it's a really big thing that we have those connections with the clients.
So around here at the end, she had more dark. And so I'm gonna take advantage, you know, since I'm doing already this, and she had more light here than I. So it's a lot of, you know, seeing and paying attention to what you're doing to be able to perform the best, and then I covered a little of the other. I remember once, I was foiling one of the senior stylists at the very beginning, and she asked me to perform. I was shaking because, you know, performing a service on a hairstylist that has been doing hair for 40 years, it's, you know, it can get very scary. So I did the highlights, but I was so afraid to overlap, you know, the previous highlights. I ended up doing a really nice service, but I could see the difference on what I did. Oh, can any of you get me a towel? the difference from the new highlights to the previous highlight. If you don't try to blend a little bit, so, and that's how you learn, like they will say, like, you know, it's good to have that. Thank you. You know, the more you're able, so this client I always have to bring him. Don't be scared. And some clients, especially when you're doing haircut, you're gonna have to like even when you're talking, you go like as many times as you need. And that's all those things get a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning. Thank you. At the beginning, but then you're so used to that you do it without, you know, even thinking. So, and you guys can see, this is all her hair in the back, and I only have done four. But you already can see how her hair is gonna fall. And I have this other one that will help me with the dimension. I'm trying to figure out if I wanna do, because usually, like this is how I do it on clients that don't wanna pay much, they don't have the money, or they just want a little lighter, you know, few pieces around her face. So that would be what I do.
Do you ask if they want your hair up so that maybe you can do underneath?
100%, yeah. She usually gets a really nice blowout, and her hair always looks really nice. It's like me, I barely bring my hair up.
So there's different techniques of, you know, weaving, right? So you have chunkier weaves, you have slicing. You know what slicing is? Like no weave. What would be the product of slicing?
Very blonde.
Very blonde, because you have more coverage, right? So you're covering more hair. And you can almost see, like when you dissect Ray's hair, you can almost see the weaves of what I do. I hardly ever slice, and I'll tell you why, is because slicing, to me, causes more mistakes if you're not careful. More bleeds, right? There's nothing more annoying when you get done with the blowout and you just feel like you're like sectioning, you're like, oh, no. And you know the client's never gonna see it, but you see it. So then it comes to like a conscious thing. Do I tell them? Do I fix it? Or I just know they're gonna be back in 3 weeks. I'll handle it then. Because, you know, those are conversations in your head that you'll have, and you have to make sure that you're prepared. And clients, no matter what you do, they know if you're confident and you're not confident. They can smell it.
Yeah, they can see it. Well, your brain,
Yeah,
you know,
they
all
know.
the sweating, and we'll let them know.
Yeah. If you're having a bad day, they're like, what's wrong with David? And that's happened to me multiple times. I'm like, oh, shit.
So now I have to explain myself.
Oh, cool. So, so I did the face frame. I did 3 foils, 3 foils, 2 foils. We're also going to do a root tap on Ray. So the next section I'm going to do is like a rainbow from side to side to connect. I'm going to weave still with 20 volume, and the goal is to kind of blend that line. So it's not going to be up to her scalp. It's going to be more softened, and that just looks more lived in. Some clients are more traditional. They want the blonde to come out of their scalp. We can't do that. We can't change DNA. But our goal with Ray is to kind of bring back some dimension, like in that first top picture. And this horizontal, right? I figured in my brain, you have horizontal, you have vertical, right? Horizontal line, vertical line. Horizontal lines, in my opinion, have more coverage of blonde. Mm-hmm. Vertical foils are going to create horizontal lines. That's where you see those stripes, right? So you have to be careful depending on what your client wants. You know, traditional foils are not traditional foils anymore. You see people on TikTok, on Instagram, they're producing beautiful work, but they're with a client 6 hours a day. In reality, you have 45 minutes or less to perform this service. And I rely on Ray and Aaliyah to do things. I know that if I am cutting hair, Aaliyah can't pull me to apply the toner. She has to do it. So I have to rely on Aaliyah or Ray to see if they can do the actual service, right? Because they're part of the service as much as I am, you know. So often Ray has known my technique, so she knows like use this comb or use this thing, and you know, whatever the case may be. So you can almost see, I don't know if you guys can come closer. You can see her root, right? The new growth, and you can see where the highlights go down. A little bit. So when Ray went red, I liked it. It looked really good on Ray. It was just a lot of upkeep on Ray, and it faded very well. It faded very fast, not very well. She had just moved back from St. Pete, was starting, you know, back in Naples, and she said, I need to change my hair. And I told Ray, if you do this, it's going to be hell trying to get it back.
Listen to your stylist.
And it's been, what, a year?
Yeah.
It's been a year trying to get back to blonde.
For how long did she stay red with that red orange?
Like 3 months? 4 months maybe?
Because my birthday in January it was red.
So in my case, I am doing, I'm slicing, but the backcombing, you know, the teasing helped me to blend, and I'm making very fine in seconds to be able to get her to 2 levels of liquid.
So the consistency of your lightener too is going to determine how fast the lightener is going to work. So we know that 20 volume plus 20 volume does not equal 40 volume, right? It equals a slow 20. So if you put 1 to 2, 1 part lightener to 2 parts developer, it's going to be a slower lightener than 1 to 1. We know that, right? I like a slower developer only for the sake of I like to have more of like like a soup kind of consistency, just because it just feels better in the foil. It doesn't swell as bad. You know, lightener swells.
Yes, that's the technique I'm using. Backcombing because I want to have a.
And see how I'm overlapping right here? Let's see that little bit of orange. That's from her old color. So I can go there. It's gonna, you know, I just don't want to. This won't survive if I overlap.
That's what you've been leaving out.
Yeah.
All that helped me to.
And the thing is too is I'm very particular about timing. So like I'm not the kind of stylist that just like, okay, see you in an hour. No, I'm checking like every 10 minutes. Because some foils will process faster. I guarantee you, once I'm done with this, these might be ready to go. The doorbell? I've never seen that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So I like a long rat tail comb versus a traditional, probably an inch shorter. It just allows me to cover more with the foil. I'm going to start at the bottom because that's going to help me lock in the foil. See? And then I'm going to over direct and then push down. She can feel my comb on her, and I'm going to literally like slide. The tension's there. You have to have tension. A loose foil can cause what? Bleeds, yeah. So we don't want bleeds.
Does weaving closer to the scalp make a difference?
Yeah, so if you, I'll show you the next one. That's a good question. So weaving far from the scalp is going to have more flexibility in the hair. Weaving closer to the scalp is going to have less flexibility to the hair. You want less flexibility so you have more control. Hair is all about control, especially when a color service.
And everything, because when you're doing just a simple blowout, you wanna.
Yeah, especially if they're curly and they want to go straight. you need the tension. So, you know, they don't want frizzy hair.
Like Aaliyah's hair, she needs a lot of attention.
Yeah, because Aaliyah has those little curls up front, so she doesn't like that. So she's in there like, you know.
Yes. I was just saying I'm sorry, so I'm gonna switch to my other bowl because I want to make sure I have a fresh bowl for this girl. Which one's that one? This is still 20. Okay.
So you want to make sure your part is as clean as possible. Parts, you know, if you have a wonky part, it's going to create a wonky. So I'll show you if I weave way down here. Look how much flexibility I have. That's not. I mean, sometimes that works. Like, you know, Yelly is backcombing, right? So you can do that because she has the tension up top. So this section, I'm going to cut in half.
So like in her case, if I wave, the it's not gonna, you know, the color won't be really that much seen. So that's why I'm using that.
So again, bottom, fold, over direct, place foil, tension. That's tight.
Yeah.
It's not moving.
So I'm gonna start doing the very front.
Blonding service on blondes that have previous color is challenging because, especially if they went to a different stylist that you don't know, they went to a different salon or they're new into town. We get a lot of travelers too that, you know, I've never met so many people that just like, they just happen to be in Naples and they want like a full transformation. You should probably like go back to your home stylist, but whatever. So you have to combat like that stylist's work, right? So you'll notice if a stylist, the way that they highlight, you'll see it in the hair. You'll see their lines, you'll see how they foil, you know. And that tells me a good stylist, so. Same thing with haircut. If I lift up Ray's hair, I should be able to see exactly where the layer is. You know, that's the point, that's a good haircut. So Ray's part lands right about like in between these two foils. Again, we're gonna root smudge this area, so it's not really necessary. We just want to diminish the line. So the line, even though I'm going up to the scalp, the outcome won't be up to the scalp. Kind of like the bottom picture. Yeli, how's it going?
I'm gonna do the first baby light here at the very front, run the hair on it. And in this case, I won't be doing much of the background, but I still don't want to be like right there at the root. You see how fine this is? So for me to get the right amount of light and the right amount of section, I have to just let the hair fall, whatever it falls, and then I section it. You know, I do the section. Tension is very important. No matter what you're doing, you need that tension. And I'm bringing very little of the hair up. And remember, I did 20 here with 20 volume. And this is a new bowl, because I want to make sure I have it freshly done.
And Yeli did a new bowl because even though this liner is sitting here, it's processing, it's moving. So it's getting weaker as it sits too.
So like every 20 minutes, you should switch your foil.
It will still work, it will just be slow.
It will work, but it will be slow. And then you have to like remix or just wait, you know, for that one little piece of air to lie, you know?
So notice how our trays are fairly clean. We want to make sure that we're not making a mess, right? There's nothing more annoying than you wearing a brand new shirt and then you just get massive amounts of lightener on it. And then you have a brand new shirt with bleach marks. So we want to make sure that we stay clean with our brushes. It just helps to less discrepancies in the foil.
Not only that, but the clients will notice all those little details.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm always leaving a little pieces of hair. This will help me to blend everything nicely.
I'm not used to foils having a design on it.
You're not used to what?
Foils having a design on it.
You have any questions?
So is the reason that you're slicing is that comb curves her hair thicker and darker?
So right now I'm not.
Well, not
So I want more even change. So I want
Oh, when it's done?
Since I'm not creating that many. And she has so much hair.
Yeah.
Like maybe if she
When it reaches a certain temperature.
and she also wants that, I will have done slices instead of, waves instead of slicing. But because the amount of hair that she has, that's why it's so important to feel the hair, you know, the client's hair, and
So I'm doing
see how you can work
face frame.
around that.
I'm doing like a horizontal mohawk, and then I'm gonna pop two right here, just so it helps blend. Yeah, we're not gonna use that.
If you notice, I'm sure they use the same thing. Fine section.
I like when I do foils. I like when there's dimension in hair. When clients come in, they just want every piece of foil in hair. Unless it's like they're transforming from like black hair to blonde hair, that's different. But like if you like your natural base and you want more dimension, I think it looks more beautiful if you keep some of your natural color in the hair.
So now I'm gonna try to see if I can blend.
But of course, it's not what I want to do. It's what they want to do.
To like create just one here, one line here. She have more hair on this side.
So would you charge her per foil, and if you did, you would think little bang pieces count as each of them?
Yes, everything counts. All your work will count. I like to be able to, I make sure, because at the front desk, they don't know what I do, how much liner or product I use, but I make sure I let them know. Because many things, that, first of all, that makes you feel very comfortable with, like, I'm charging for, my service, and this is what I'm worth. But not only that, I will be able to have enough time to perform that service the next day, and I'll let them know. Or if she didn't know, if she wasn't prepared, whatever, and I did 3 extra folders, I will let them know. So I just did few extra, this is the next time you need to book something. Like
time management.
100%. Because your time is equal to, the service that you're providing.
Time is money.
And if you don't make sure you let the clients know that, then they will expect whatever you do for the same amount of price, So yeah. So the sooner you and you let them know. And you know what? Sometimes, we have a little bit of everything. Some clients don't want to really pay. And you let them know, hey, so if you want that for next time, I need more time. And they will connect, okay, more time, that means I have to pay more. Do I really want to do that?
And I will say it is hard to say no sometimes. Like you just kind of like, I really don't have enough time, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So it counteracts too. Is like I always tell.
Stretch. You know that. You already know that.
I always tell the client, be very intentional when you call the salon. If you know you possibly want highlights, it's easier for me to alter down versus alter up. Because I might have only 30 minutes to perform the service, but now you want me to do this, that's gonna take me an extra 20 minutes. And now I'm gonna be late for my next client.
Yeah. And then you're stressed, and that's not fair for you. It's not fair for the client.
And then you don't want the client. So don't be afraid to ask the client to tilt their head. So I'm gonna say tilt your head. Again, my body's important, my back is messed up. I don't want to be like this trying to foil her hair. So don't be afraid to be like, you know, and I'll be like, okay, rest your neck. And I'll be like, next one, you know? Especially when you're in front of them. That is an intimate experience too, when you're standing in front or you're, you know, touching their nose. You get over that point of nervousness because it's like, if you want me to do the service, I'm gonna be up in your face.
Besides hair, what other services? At the very beginning, I was very nervous, but then I'm like, I just need
so
my books.
our history, our salon used to offer full service salon, like nails and stuff, but we only have one nail tech, and she works in the Venetian Village, and she's been with the company since the beginning.
Service? Do you do esthetician?
We don't.
What would you do like and do you do your nail technician, do like pedicure front? So you mean?
Yes, Aaliyah's getting more dimension all over. I'm focusing here more around face and hair.
So maybe it don't depend.
I am going to go back a little bit, so because I don't want this to be brown, right? So I want a little bit of dimension here. But my goal is not to.
That will change how the hair will look.
But I can 100% do a full set of these and still be a foliage and teasing and all that from here up to, you know, the very, very front, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Yeah. But it all depends because sometimes they want, like, you know what, this is a great way to introduce a client to a highlight service. And they'll be like, I absolutely love it, I want more.
And it's good for revenue too. Your revenue and what you bring into the salon is direct reflection to your pay. Right? The more money you bring in, the more you can say, look what I brought in. I need to pay them, right? So even though we're not a commissioned salon, your revenue is direct reflection, or your pay is direct reflection of your revenue. If you bring in $200,000 in revenue, it should be 40%, 50% commission. Now, remember, we have a full desk team. Me and Yelly don't answer phones. We don't book appointments. We have assistants that we do not pay for. I don't have to buy any of these products. So there are those things too. Instead of you, if you were to work in a commissioned salon or rent a chair, guess what? That's all you. And taxes. Yeah, they text you. Well, they still do that. They still do that. So. Those who have my number. Yeah, don't give me your number unless you really are prepared. You learn to ignore it. I'm like, I'll deal with this tomorrow.
My mom's client asked her to come in during the hurricane. No.
Yeah, she's ready. So I think hopefully we have nice ones very here. We have a lot of students lining up for a class. So nice ones. Like so beautiful. Thank you.
So you guys go to lunch at 11:15, 11:30? That's good. So what we'll do is we'll continue this. While they're processing, you guys will do your lunch thing, and then we'll come back and then you guys will. Sound like a plan? So maybe while during lunch, think of like your mannequin head. All mannequins, you know, have a wonky hairline as well, so you have to deal with that.
Just like Aaliyah?
Just like Aaliyah. So you can start thinking of placement. We'll probably focus more on like face trimming just because of timing purposes, which is a great add-on service in the salon because sometimes people like to just be brighter around the face.
It's really popular right now anyway.
So, you know, it's a great add-on, you know, $160 to $200 add-on service in the salon. So it's like, you know, and in reality, the faster you get foiling, to pop in 5 or 6 foils can take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, you know, so it's not like a huge discrepancy in time. I'm pretty honest, like, if I have the time, I'll do it, you know.
you do more?
If I have the time and they want like a face frame, I'll do it. Why not?
But you will charge for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I will do everything, but I'll make sure I charge. Because you have to train your clients to be on time, to book their appointments, and how much it's gonna cost, whatever service you're doing today.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of running late. I like to be on time for everything. So my clients know, like, I need you to be here. Early is on time is late. And in the same respect too, is I need to be on time for them. So I can't have any kind of discrepancies in my schedule too, because there's nothing more annoying than them waiting for me because I decided to not be, on time.
There's things like as an associate too you can do to help with that time management. Like if he needs like 5 more minutes to finish a blow dry, I'll put a mask on their hair and do like a massage, or there's like little things that you can do, and you can like gift it just to buy him time and they're getting something out.
Yeah,
instead of
and
them
they
just
won't even
sitting in
know.
a chair waiting. Yeah.
They will know
They will
that
know.
David needs 5 more minutes.
And
And
like-
even if it's like a basic conditioner, if you say like, oh, we're gonna gift you this conditioning mask, they're like, oh my god, good, I really need it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, great, you do.
And wrap it on everything that you wrap in a warm towel, oh my god, they will feel very, very special.
A little extra massage.
Yeah.
It does, sometimes there are those days when you need, like, I'm not done yet.
Like I'll be mid shampoo and him and I will make eye contact and I'm like, okay,
I'll be like,
need it.
And sometimes the clients come with, also the personal situations in life that like going through a divorce or somebody die in their families, and you can just, that human part never needs to stop, showing. Because sometimes I'm like in a big rush and the client comes like, my dog died. Like I have to stop the consultation and be like, because I really care. These are people that you've seen, I don't know, more than your mom sometimes. They become your family. You really care about them and they really care about you. So the human part, the respect part, that's like above everything.
Yeah, your clients become your friends before your friends become your
Yeah.
And you create multiple like relationships too. I mean, my clients have helped me so much. I mean, I have clients in doctor's offices, and they'll be like, if I need a phlebotomist for blood work, I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing my chiropractor tonight. He's my client. Like, they're able to help you in ways that they do become your family, and you can rely on them as much as they rely on you. And my favorite client is my dentist. Right, so I'm gonna do whatever he wants to do. They know he comes in on Wednesday. So they know if he wants me to come in at midnight, I'm coming at midnight.
Be nice to them, they have a high suicide rate.
Dentist?
Wow.
Mine better.
You did have that dream.
Yeah.
So I'm a mom of 2. I usually work until 3, and that's one of the advantages that I get to have working at Brother of Philadelphia, which I'm very grateful. But like I have this client, and she's one of my favorite clients. Well, I love all my clients, but I love her. And she wanted me to come last Wednesday at 3, something like that. And like we make those kind of exceptions for the clients because they're loyal clients, and it's part of the service, like if not, like you're gonna, go crazy around that, but if you can, then you'll 100% do it. And because like this client, I'll see her every 3 weeks for color, and she'll come every week for a blowout. Like I needed to just do it,
Yeah, we have blowout clients. We'll see 3-4 times a week.
They do not wash their own hair.
They do, yeah. There's clients, Naples is a very certain tax bracket. They don't want to wash their hair, so they'll come in and we'll have to wash it, which is fine. I actually like blow drying. I kind of zone out when I blow dry. it's more of a relaxing moment for me.
And I love to see, especially if I did the color. I want to know how everything looks. So if you get close to here, you'll see a lot of saturation here, and I brought a little bit of this up, but it's not, like the saturation is not the same. You see that?
So I'm finished with gray. We're gonna let this process. As soon as I'm done with my last foil, I always check my first foil, which would be now I know I use a lighter developer, so this foil, don't get too delicious. I know that it's going to be pretty bright, so I'm not nervous about that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to start pulling probably in 10 minutes this side. Again, this is different because Aaliyah has a darker base, Ray has a lighter base. There's less work for
What developer do you use?
1.9 and 20.
Yeah, and well, I'm using 20, so this is perfect because you'll see.
Yeah.
The comparison, yeah.
So what we'll do when you guys are at lunch, I'll probably start pulling before you go to lunch and then go from there. So you guys know with developer, like I said, 20 plus 20 does not equal 40. I like a consistency, more of a soupy consistency, because lightener starts to swell. You can see like this has been sitting for a little bit, so it started to swell a little bit, see? So you just kind of remix it and it becomes more of a lighter consistency. I like that kind of lightener, maybe even lighter, because it just slides easier in the foil versus something that's super thick and could possibly swell the foil and then cause bleeds. We don't want bleeds. Consistency too is important because it's going to keep your station clean. We don't want a messy station. And you'll see stylists wherever in the world, there's always one that's like a complete mess, and then there's one that's,
But she's great.
Yeah, she's great, but she's just a complete mess. So it allows your station to be clean, and your clients will notice that too. They'll be like, oh.
And one day she was running late, not a big deal, a room retouch. And when the stylist told her that I was gonna do the room retouch, she goes like, why? And I'm like, I'm here standing up smiling. She looked at everything that I did, like the way I will touch the brush, and I feel like so naked right in front of her, because the clients will see everything, every single thing. Sorry.
Some of them say, I remember the one lady, she was like, well, are you good at what you do? They will say crazy stuff.
Or the always questions. For how long have you been in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get that the first decade of it.
I remember my first fruit retouch, I had to I think the lady asked me to, and I just played it off. I was like, you're actually my first. They had no idea.
So I don't know if I'm doing 15 or more, because with this amount of hair,
15 foils turned into 20 foils.
No, I think I'm gonna do 2 more, and I'll be done.
So if you take a look at this sheet that Yelly brought, the head sheet, you can see pretty similar to probably your mannequin, the hairline. And so when you brush out your mannequin, you're going to see that there's lines and grooves in the hairline. It's designed like that on purpose to teach you different hairlines. So when we come back from lunch, you'll be able to really dissect how you're going to face frame. And sometimes less is more. You don't have to oversaturate. You don't need 50 foils around the face. Sometimes it takes less than 10. It's all about finding what works for you and your client. Sometimes it's, we do, I have a client, she gets highlights every 5 times or every 4 times, maybe twice a year. Because she doesn't like to be super dark. But if you're covering gray consistently every 3 weeks, guess what? It's going to become darker and darker. And like Aaliyah doesn't get foils every 4 or 5 weeks. She gets foils every 3 months, every 4 months,
Or more.
Or more.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have those clients too, especially in a younger age bracket, right? If you get a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and she's on Christmas break from college, guess what? Guess when you did her last hair?
Once a year.
Yeah, you did her hair last Christmas. You know, so they wait and they do a lot of things over the year. And they're not going to go to some stylist in their college town. They're going to wait to you. A lot of young clients that we have are clients of mothers, grandmothers. So that's a good thing, is that there's legacy in Naples, and a lot of people tend to call and be like, my grandson's coming in, you know, my granddaughter's coming in. So we just did a huge campaign for back to school called Princess Experience, where we did over 200 princesses.
We did like 1,200.
1,200? Okay, so sorry. We did over 1,200 little girls, ranging from ages 3 to 17. It was a huge campaign, and it gained a lot of experience for Aaliyah, Ray. I don't think
we did the back to school.
Back to school Boy Scouts. Okay, so we do a lot of back to school stuff in the associate program. I know you guys don't get a lot of people work here. We try to get a lot of people work, you know, so we advocate for you guys to find friends, bring your family. Your mom wants highlights, or if she doesn't want highlights, she's getting highlights. You know, like tell her, Mom, you're getting highlights. So I need you next Monday. You know what I mean? So, and anybody, I know it's shy. Like I'm more introverted. I'm not going to the mall. You know, I get nervous talking to some random people. Like, here's my business card. Like for me, I get weird with that. But sometimes you meet people in the grocery store. I have a little sheer tattoo, and they ask me all the time. And then I end up doing full consultations at Publix. I'm like, oh my God, can you book an appointment? Like, come on. You know, like I don't want to do this here. Come to the salon. So now I'm more confident where I do carry cards in my bag, and I can just be like, oh yeah, come. Or, you know, people around town are going to ask, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a hairstylist. Oh my God, I need to come see you. I'm like, okay, come. Here's my card. Book online, you know. That confidence comes with time too. 4 years ago, you wouldn't catch me handing my card out to nobody. But that's just my experience. You know, I was nervous.
Because we get excited when we have a cancellation.
Yeah.
Like, yes. It's so weird because you get excited about, you know, having clients for the first time. But at the same time, you're like so nervous, especially if you don't know them and all that. That's why you don't know what you're gonna get into, you know, in your hair. I mean, in your chair. Mm-hmm. And that confidence, you know, from...
And it switches, like a light bulb goes off, where like, you go from literally overnight, unconfident to confident, because you feel
but
a
also
switch
the teachers
happen.
help a lot. Because I remember Lisa giving us, you know, a lot of classes and, you know, like just the way, like just to be able to see her. Sometimes she'll make a mistake, and I'm talking about one of the senior hairstylists. She'll make a mistake and she'll be like, oh, I did the wrong shampoo. I'm going to have to, you know, go back to the shampoo bowl. Like with such a calm, you're like, oh, I can make a mistake. And you know, like the clients actually respect the fact that you made a mistake and you didn't let her go, you know, with whatever product you put on or whatever. Instead of like trying to pretend that nothing happened, because they know that the service wasn't done correctly. So
Clients respect you a lot more if you say, hey, I don't like. I never use the words I made a mistake. I'll say things like, I just don't like the outcome of this. Can you come back tomorrow? Or you know, the color didn't lift as much as I wanted it to. You know, if you have any problems. And that's when I do give my number out, because I want them to be honest with me, and I want them to know, like, I respect them as a client, and I want them to be back in my chair. So even if I do mess up, I want the communication to stay open, so that way they can text me and be like, hey, my hair feels a little thicker back here, can I just come in and you tweak it a little bit? Or hey, I want to go brighter, is there time for you to pop a few more foils in? You know, if you can do it, yes, do it. Like, you know, I think it's just the most important part of this industry is being communicated.
Yeah.
A lot of times we see ego, especially on the internet, right? How many Instagram pages you come across or TikTok pages you come across where the stylist is just, you know, it screams ego. And at the end of the day, it's just hair. At the end of the day, we're doing a good job and we're making people smile. That's so I can only speak for myself. But that's my goal, is to gain connection and to gain experience with life. And you know, I've had people like cry in my chair. I've had people just, you know, live life. In the 2 hours that they're in the salon, they get to like not focus on what's happening outside of their real life, and they focus on, you know, they can read a People magazine for the first time in 10 years, which who reads magazines anymore? I don't think of a magazine forever. But like, they get to do those things, or they get to have a hot chocolate, you know, haven't had hot chocolate since they were a kid. Sometimes too, it's not about your skill level, it's about your personality, right? But people want to feel loved, and people want to feel like they're appreciated.
It's a full service. That's why sometimes we end up like,
yeah, we take the brunt of it.
So you guys can see how she's really nice, but it's because what do you think? How is it I'm able to bring her these lights with only 20 volume? It's a small section, like very fine sections.
So in about 2 more minutes, I'm going to start taking the sides. So I'll probably do it with a shampoo bowl. You want to make sure, and I've made this mistake often when I first start doing highlights, you get nervous that there's a fine line between perfect damage. Right, so you don't want to pull the foil too quick, because then you're more prone to like an orange level. You want to, especially if they want to be bright blonde, right? How often do you hear the word, my hair is brassy, or my hair is orange?
Heavy.
Yeah, so they're going to say that they're going to learn those words, and you have to kind of talk them off the ledge and be like, no, it's not, you know.
Sometimes they see red.
Yeah.
Super blonde hair.
So it's about making sure you're monitoring the foils and making sure you're not over processing too, especially on the sides. Because remember, you know, body heat radiates pretty quickly. So these foils process much faster. Even though I'm using a weaker developer, they process much faster. So,
you know, when you were talking about being honest to the clients, and you know, if a service wasn't performed in a way that you were happy, or the client, or whatever. And I remember talking to Rob about that. I'm like, I only had 2 redos in my entire career. And he said to me, you know what? Redos are actually a good thing. And I love the fact that he, you know, take off that pressure. Because that was one thing that, you know, we were always worried, like, I don't want to have a client, you know, telling that, you know, complaining about their service. But what do you say about that, Rob? About the redos? Like, what's your mentality?
I love that because you made them feel comfortable enough to say, because most people won't complain. They'll go somewhere else. They won't ever come back to you. If you give them that space, that freedom to say, listen, I want it a little brighter, or I want it a little darker, it's not quite what I wanted, you did something right. You did something great, because they're free to talk to us. That's what we want. Give us the feedback. I don't want to find out that you stopped coming to me by looking at a report 10 months from now that you never came back. And for most of us, it's not in our nature to say something. It's uncomfortable. How many of you go to a restaurant, an expensive restaurant, and the food's not it, or the steak is undercooked or overcooked or whatever it is, but we don't say anything. It's an uncomfortable situation to do that. So, especially with a personal service, to be able to express themselves, and you give them that freedom that they're not going to hurt your feelings, they're actually helping you. If they say, you know, it's not quite it, I just like a little bit more. Wow, it's great. They feel so comfortable with you. That's a gift. It's a blessing. We love that. Thank you for giving us that feedback. Otherwise, we know what most people do. They just disappear. They go somewhere else. So, and if you have that foundation, it's no different than a relationship with your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is, too. The same way, the more you can communicate to each other, and honestly and openly, it's a great aspect of the relationship. So something we heavily promote, like if you don't absolutely love your service and your experience, please let us know. We'll make it right for you. It's okay. It's okay to say something. You don't need to go to Yelp. You don't need to go to Google. You don't need to do any of that. We'll take care of it for you, promise. No questions asked. Say that about all of our products and our services. Our products the same way. It's like if you don't love it, how many women have so many products under their sink that they never touch. They used it once and it's no good anymore. They don't want to deal with the hassle of returning it, so they just leave it under there. You know, we tell people use the whole thing. Use all of it. Come back in 10 years and tell us you don't like it. We'll give you your money back. No joke. You don't need a receipt. You don't even need to prove that you bought it from us. We will give it. We want to provide that level of trust with people, because most places they don't trust you at all. You know, like, where's your receipt? Give me your driver's license. What time were you here? Are you sure you bought it at this store? You know, you're ready for it. You need to bring a lawyer with you to return things these days. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. You know, few people ruin it for the rest, but you know, we just find that we're in a personal service business. We know where they live anyway. We have their information in the computer. You know.
So that kind of mentality, you know, that slogan in the company, it's amazing because the training, he is able to provide that for the clients because of the training that we have been through. So he trusts us, he knows that we're gonna 100% try our best, you know, and we can make a mistake. Sometimes it's more about the personality, and that client ended up being extra happy with the service that they will provide, and it's more about the connection. Sometimes the client is looking more of a connection, a different kind of connection, and they felt more comfortable. And that will never create a situation between me and David. I'm like, take it. Because I don't want anyone on my chair that is not happy with my service. We want the client to be happy with whoever. So that kind of mentality allows us to have that, you know, relaxing attitude in front of the clients and like enjoying more what we do instead of being stressed. Like, oh, you know, all that. So that's, you know, one.
Ray is processing right now a root tap, and I did it now because it's a very quick service. And we use Lumina color, which is a permanent color line from Lola. It has more of a translucent finish and a softer finish. So each color line has a base color. Some color lines are based with beige or brown or violet or green. Just depends on the color line itself. Yeli is going to tone Aaliyah with a demi-permanent color line called Wella Color Touch. It's a great color line. I love Color Touch. It's what we use for people who don't necessarily want to cover the gray but don't like the gray, so it just softens or blends the gray. And it's non-permanent, so it's less ammonia in the color line. So you'll see.
And I'm using 871, which is the level at what we were able to get here is like a level 8. So you're usually toned at the same level that you are able to lift.
Yeah. So you guys know that, right? If I lift to an 8, I can't put a level 10 on an 8. Because there's no lifting ability. Mm-hmm. I have to lift to a 10 to then deposit a 10. I can't lift to an 8 and then deposit a 10. I can tone down, so I can lift to a 10 and deposit an 8. If I like, oh shoot, I lifted too high, I can then tone it down. But I can't bump up with a toner ever. Permanent color, sometimes you can get a little shift, but toning with permanent color can be a little aggressive, and you're always prone to shifting the base. So then that turns into a whole nother service, right? I don't want to shift Aaliyah's natural color, I just want to deposit color into it, so it's not that raw lift. Raw lift can be nice if you lift it high enough, but then raw lift can also be a little aggressive, and then that's when hair turns brassy or orange or gold, depending on what you lift it to. Because you know the color wheel, right, or the lightning process, you have to go through the red, you have to go through the orange, you have to go through the yellow, then you have to go through the gold, then you have to go through the white, right? Mm-hmm. So if I stop at the gold, I can tone it, but when the toner wears off, it's going to always revert back to that gold.
So I'm using, so the purpose, do you know what's the purpose of the toner?
And it's the hue.
To like neutralize?
It all depends on what will be the, you know, the goal. Mm-hmm. So in this case, she doesn't have a ton of orange or anything that we really want to neutralize, we want to enhance what she already had. So the demi-permanent color is perfect for that because it's not really aggressive, and it will wash, out of the hair in between, depending on the shampoo and the water and all that, and how often she shampoo her hair, but between 8, 12 weeks, maybe before that. But at the same time, it will add a really nice conditioner and shine to the hair. And it's a great add-on service that you can, because you're charging for everything, the time, the product, the processing time, to like all that. And I add a little bit of brown, and she wants a little bit of red too. So it's 871, and I know you guys don't, I'm not 100% working on the, with all the colors and tones and all that. So 8 in Vuela will be her level, and then the 7, it's brown, and 1, it's ash. So like, because she wants a little bit of both, like you always need those two, a little bit of cool and a little bit of warm to complement each other. If it's too ashy, it ended up looking really wash out for the clients if it doesn't have anything else on, besides the ash. So we're adding more warm and a little bit of ash because we don't want like extra orange or anything like that. So I use 1 ounce and 20 of 871 and only 20 of 0.20 of the 843, which is the 8 will be the level, 4 it's red, and 3 is gold. So she will have brown, ash, and then red and gold, but very little of the red, not that much. And she wants it lighter on the front part right here, as you can see. Remember how I foiled over here, like they were very, very fine. And from here up to here, they were horizontal sections, and they were all slides. So now I'm gonna start doing this here. Usually we do this at the bowl. I think we're gonna have to go there instead. Yeah. Because I want to be able to saturate everything. I don't want to just put the toner here because you'll see a little bit of a difference in the hair, and I don't want to change, anything on her natural color. So yeah, let's go over there. Yeah. But I'm gonna part this part right here because this part I will actually tone it.
Is it different tone?
No, the same one, but for less time.
Okay.
Because you know why?
Yeah.
I know why. Do you guys know why?
Because it's more porous in the front right now?
Is it because she wants it lighter?
Yes.
Oh.
But it is. It grabs. The hair is finer, and I guess that's what you were
talking about.
talking.
More lighter up there right now, right?
It's a little bit lighter, and that's what she wants. She wants it a little bit lighter. So to keep it like that. So you get all that, from the consultation. That's why it's so important to ask all these questions. We're gonna go to the bowls to ask this. And I love to work with my hands. Like I feel like I have more control over, every piece of hair. So also the demi-permanent color, it's mixed different than the permanent color, because with the permanent color you mix 1 to 1, and with the demi-permanent color you mix 1 to 2, depending to, we also have something called relight, and that is mixed 1 to 3. So 1 ounce of the color to 3 ounces of the development. That's something else. So I'm using 871, and I'm also using 843. saturation from, the ends to the roots because she had previous highlights, so we want everything to look the same. And even though she has that, at the level I was able to lift her, I was able to do sometimes to do it, from the roots to the back. Or sometimes could you set it up for 5 minutes and we'll take a look. Sometimes I have to start from the back and on the ends because the hair grab less. It all depends. So the eyes will be the one who will tell you, because you don't apply the toner or a glaze on every client the same, because every client needs different things. Their hair looks different from, even from the previous color that you do.
Is that mostly because of the porosity, or is it just a bunch of different things?
The porosity will affect how light you are able, because I have clients that have previous colors, and then the root lift really light, but then kneecap and end are not so light. So you want to be able to, blend everything nicely. So at that point, I will add the toner at the root so it can wrap maybe for 5 minutes and then bring it up. Does that make sense?
I've had that done to me actually, yeah.
Yeah, so depending on the situation. It's not the same for every client.
So on Ray, I'm doing Wella's Shinefinity toner. It's Wella's competitor product to Shades EQ from Redken. It's actually a very cool service. It doesn't take very long to process. It's probably the least complicated, I think, out of all the color lines that Wella has. And I tend to just dive in.
Are they all of these toners, are they more on the liquidy side? Because I know
this one is
Shades EQ. The one time I used it, it was surprisingly runny, and I was like, oh, this is
sometimes, it depends on the color line and the activator. Wella's Shinefinity has 2 activators. They have a bottle activator and then they have a bowl activator. And sometimes we use the bottle activator in a bowl and whatever's available. Okay. So I'm doing Shinefinity 09 stroke 13, which is a ash gold mixed with clear, so it's like a 10 level. I always mix extra when it comes to toning because I want saturation. Saturation is key when it comes to glazing. There's nothing more annoying than lifting up the hair during a blow dry and you can visibly see that something didn't get covered. So every time if I go over by Ray and there's color still in the bowl, I'm like, use everything. I don't care if you think you have it covered, use everything.
Do you do toner every time you highlight?
No, not necessarily. It depends on the natural base of the color. If it's a light enough base, like level 8, 9, sometimes a raw lip just looks very pretty. Yeah. Some people don't always need a toner.
Yeah. I have few clients that they don't need. They have super fine hair. They don't want to get the extra moist out of the glaze, and they don't need it. Sometimes they just want to blend their braids, and their natural color is really nice too. So
that picture in there is raw lip. That first picture, I did not have a toner. I had never toned my hair up until.
Oh, before?
Yeah, that was
the reason why we tone Ray's hair now is because of that red color. We want to kind of combat that red, or cowboy copper, whatever trend we were going for that day.
Is that what she was going for? Is cowboy copper?
A little bit. All right, so while these are processing, if you guys want to open up your boxes and your mannequins and get everything set up and start sectioning out a face frame. So prepare to highlight a face frame.
Let's see which face frame. I love it. I get to stand back.
You remember we did I thought they would put that there. So where's it? Make a triangle section at whatever part you have. If you decide to do
have like a in the middle section, then make a triangle, and if you decide to do a sidecar section, then also make a triangle in the middle of that. How about that?
Okay, so for this, would you do
Triangle.
back like about a half
Make a
inch
triangle.
maybe?
Make a triangle section.
Oh, a triangle
In
section.
the middle of the section.
Okay.
Of this little section right here or the whole
That I
thing?
saw. Down to the ear, in front of the ear?
Okay.
In the middle of the part thing that you decide to do, make a triangle.
Should we do it two in
I'm
front of
gonna
the
try to
ear?
do it as fast as I can. No.
Just the
we're
bay
only
area.
doing there. Yeah, because we don't have that much time, so that way we're gonna make it practical.
So it's
gonna be. Yeah. No, triangle. And make a triangle in the middle. In the middle. And not too far, like really not
So like this amount right here? Is that right or is that too much?
That's too much. Yeah, because we'll only be doing, because I want you guys to be able to see what you're doing, you know, the.
So like that?
Uh-huh, yeah, that's perfect.
Girl, take out the whole section. That's why I asked. Take out the whole section.
Does that make sense? Am I explaining myself? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Kind of like when you're doing bangs.
I'm doing. Yeah, like you're doing.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I don't know what they was explaining to you, but I'm gonna just try to move on so that way you can see. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So did you say this is a popular service in the salons now? Just
100%.
There you go.
Every client wants you know, a lighter pieces of hair. Yeah, lighter.
Where's the brushes go?
Remember, our intention is not to do 75 foils. Our intention is maybe 10 or less for the timing purposes that we have, okay? For the sake of the mannequin, we're mixing 40 volume, so it has a little bit of push.
Should we put her under the dryer while we're at it?
If you feel you need to.
Nuke her a little bit?
Nuke her,
Give her a little
bit.
oomph.
That's hilarious.
Go fix it.
So the ratio Yali's mixing is 1:1. So do you think of the rule thicker is
No, I'm using 1 to
1 to 2, never mind. So rule of thumb is thicker is quicker. The lightener is thicker, it's going to move quicker. So you can weave or slice. Know that slicing is going to produce a much bolder outcome. Again, just be conscious of what your hairline looks like. What you want to do, you want it to be bold, you want it to be like a money piece, that's really popular. The young girls come in, I want a money piece. All right?
Are you good, David?
Yep.
All right. Where's Shelly?
Sure thing. Notice if your mannequin has a center part or a side part, it's going to make a difference in your parting. Some mannequins are designed like that, so
Doing it.
if it naturally wants to go down the center, then do it to the center. If it naturally folds to the side part, then do it to a side part. Remember, horizontal or vertical sections going back is going to produce a different outcome than horizontal going up. So I would focus on vertical back. Does that make sense? Yeah. Diagonal back, right? So if you're gonna foil my hairline, you're gonna foil this way.
So we can see, so this will be a perfect 5 foils for the face frame, the triangle section, and then weave the first one like baby lights, and then to create a more bold look, forgot.
Slice.
2 slice, and then 2 more wait, does that make sense?
So baby like 2 slices.
Yes, baby
2 slices and then.
So weave, slice, slice, weave, weave. whatever section you guys are doing, you know.
Even if it's on the side, you can do the same here.
I don't know that I've actually seen spot or break. I mean, I haven't seen it done.
At the front.
And less is more when foiling, so don't take a huge section and try to weave it.
Yeah, the finer the better.
That's good, but it's going to produce
I know how to do
much
it, but I
better.
don't know how to do it.
And I did it closer to hairline. So
Just make sure you saturate it very well, so it's not
yeah,
spotty.
should I put some on the bottom? And shoes to it? Which way to do?
What do you mean?
Like put it on the bottom with foil and then
No,
seal
no.
it? Okay.
But just make sure the entire strand of hair gets covered. So don't forget to use your comb as a guide for the foil. Punch her in the eye, like that. Literally, like you have to have tension. The client will understand. If they start complaining about it, like, well, do you want your highlights good or bad? What are they gonna say? Bad, please. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Okay, so this is the
Yeah, I messed up. I forgot that I had to put it on that side.
Is this too much?
Too much, yeah.
Yeah, the more.
You're right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
So you can take, you see the
The more
comb?
the less.
So see how it kind of curves?
Should I do more?
I would even leave this out. And I'm gonna go in here. Kind of follow the hairline. And then here. For the sake of this being visible on the doll head, don't worry about the chunkiness. You can fold this back. You get your foil from the bottom.
You put the shiny side over to or
Doesn't matter.
Huh?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I didn't know if you had a preference.
Harder, especially the hairline. Go direct. I have a lot of tension. Start cleaning. Okay? So now for you.
Is this section good? Or is that too thick?
Over here is good. Too thick over here. Mhm.
Tension?
When the section is too thick, you're more prone to bleeds, more prone to mistakes. Lightener is going to expand in a doll head, or in a foil on people or doll heads. So
That's where I put it on.
yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. It's more so getting practice with the muscle memory of the wrist, right? We want to make sure that we're able to weave consistently. One person I follow on Instagram, I highly recommend you follow her, is Gina Bianca. She owns a salon in like Connecticut or something. She has a method of counting her weaves. So she'll do like a 5, 7, 9 method, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 of weaves. And that will create a different outcome of the foil. And please know that a doll head is much different than a human, so it's okay to struggle a little bit with the doll head. Sometimes the gloves are a hindrance. So I don't foil with gloves, but if that's what you're used to guys doing, I mean, to each his own. You can. Yeah, to get out of the client's face.
The slicing, I'm not familiar with how to slice it. I know what it is, I've never done it.
So you're gonna take your next section. This is a little too, well, not really. So I'm not gonna come from here to see how the hairline goes in a little bit. So I'm gonna go right here. Split my section. Clean it up. No. I'm not a huge fan of slices because that I feel like I make the most mistakes when I slice.
Yeah, I've had my hair sliced after that. And then after this section, not 5 9 4, I didn't like the way it looked. It was too solid.
Yeah.
She did it in the ankles, it wasn't.
So if I were to slice, I want it to be.
For your slice? Then,
See how it's super thin?
for slice, you just take out one section and cut it.
Yeah, without leaving any hair in between the fold.
Oh, no.
So you still
have
do
this little
Oh, I didn't weave it. I just take a very small. Yeah. Slicing is, once you get in the rhythm, slice, 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 slice. Some people who are blonding specialists will slice everything because they think every client wants to be suitable. Here's the thing, not every client wants to be suitable.
It's too definite of a line.
You do have a line of demarcation, for sure. But some people like that, Some of these women in Naples, they want to be as long as possible.
It's kind of funky and creative.
It's not our hair. It's our hair. Like I always try to talk people out of full foils. I just don't think it's necessary. It's just more damaging.
Yeah.
Like who sees the back of your head? All underneath, who needs to be there?
And you can use the natural color in the back to kind of blend in.
Yeah.
I think it looks kind of nice that way.
I'm gonna work on whatever you have already did. So you want one color here.
So when we slice, we want to make sure we don't take too big of a section, because then you're more prone to making the mistake. Yeah. Maybe bring her down a little bit so you're more standing over her and not at eye level.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I took one clip from someone and I don't know. Is this yours?
I think so. We'll figure it out.
Okay. There's one here. The one for this one. Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Is it yours?
And don't be afraid to really saturate the lightener. We can always mix more.
Yeah, saturation and tension.
If you don't saturate it, then it's going to be spotty like a dog or something, Dalmatian. And then you're in the shampoo bowl crying, like you're looking down like, oh crap, what do I do now? That's perfect. See that tension right there?
Yeah.
That whole angle.
Just because I want you guys to see. Yeah. So the finer the section is, the more you will be able to see. You don't have to do it exactly like that. I'm just giving you, the way I basically, like whenever I'm in a rush and a client asks for a face frame, this is what I do. This is my go-to. And it works really nice. You can see.
So you never go on the sides by the ears or anything? Is it because of it falls that way?
It's just because of the time.
Oh.
Idea will be to be able to, lift everything, but we don't have that much time.
Is this popular with a lot of younger kids?
Money piece?
It's for
A
everyone.
money piece? Or what do you mean, what's popular?
Well, I would think like young girls who would come in would want this done a lot. Who are experimenting for the first time with color maybe, or?
Yeah. Or someone who wants to start transitioning out of color, right?
Yeah,
Someone who wants to blend gray versus cover gray. Typically what people do is they go blonde, right? They don't want to do a root retouch every 3 weeks, so they come and get foils every 10 weeks.
That's true.
So it could be for anybody, or some women like it just brighter around their face.
Yeah.
So you do the base color and foils,
I saw a pretty lady the other day who had naturally gray hair. She incorporated dark streaks through it.
Mm-hmm. Like a low light?
And it looks really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it like that. It was really dark, not black, but I thought it was kind of nice looking.
Another person you should follow on Instagram and TikTok is Emily Chen. She has phenomenal free education.
Yeah, I follow her.
She's out of, I don't know, Georgia or something. And she just gives so much,
Very
yeah, amazing education on there. It's all free, you know, TikTok, Instagram, it's all free education. She's a salon owner. And,
Was it like M's chair or something?
yeah. Sometimes, you know, we all get services that we maybe don't feel confident in, or, you know, names change. They want a, you know, puppy cut or a wolf cut or whatever animal it is that week, and we have to kind of figure it out. Like, what is this person talking about, or, you know.
Oh yeah, and then you go look up on the computer.
Exactly. YouTube. What is a puppy cut?
What do you do when you have a client that every customer thing and you know it's not gonna like that? Yeah. How do you deal with that? What do you normally tell them?
Well, if a client shows me, hopefully they show me an inspiration picture.
Really? Yeah.
Because a picture is going to execute way more than words are going to execute. So I can see what they're talking about versus hearing what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty honest. Like, I will legit tell you no or no. And that's a risk I have to take and be like, maybe they'll go somewhere else and get it done. But it's more about being honest with them. They're going to respect you more and be like, hey, I just don't think that looks good. I don't think that looks really good on you, and I'm just going to be honest, like, you know.
It's not my favorite look on you.
Yeah, it's not my favorite look on you.
You hold it with the other finger. I mean left.
Left, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
So over here. From here.
Oh, okay. There.
To the other from corner to corner.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward.
Yeah. To give you more control.
Okay, got it.
And you know, saturation, very important. If you have a very fine line, but a very fine section, but you don't saturate enough, it's not gonna look nice. So with those 5 points, they'll be ready.
And this is more so to practice the repetition. I always tell associates, how do you get better at foiling is you do more foils. You know, you can watch video after video after video, but if you're not actually doing it, it's not really retention. So
Yeah.
how do you get better at doing hair? You do more hair. Which is great about our associate program is that we have so many opportunities, clients that come in, and we work with the community. We do things with the women's shelter. We do all kinds of things with the community, or we give back in free hair services. So there's ways to get people in your chair that maybe can't afford to come to our salon, or maybe they want free services. You know, back to school time is really good for our associates because it gives them repetition. They're like, my back hurts. I'm like, I know.
You can go there.
Once you have your 5 foils in, maybe put her under heat so we can see that thing shake and shake. Try some, you know, you can try what Yelly did too with the back combing. Just know that a doll head's going to be a little more intense to get out.
Oh yeah, you can do the last one, back combing too, and that will help blend everything nice together.
There's a lot of different methods to lightening hair, not just foils. You have balayage, you have air technique where you use a blow dryer, you have all kinds of things that you can do. Clients will learn this technique too, so.
What are the classes like on Mondays? Like, is it kind of like this, where it's like an all day thing?
Sometimes they do.
Usually it's like 10 to 2.
Yeah, so they do haircuts. Sometimes they do.
You also
everyone needs to be
No.
certified.
Okay.
Perms?
On haircuts.
I've done one. in my
One,
life.
let's say one length
It was
haircut.
here.
You need to be certified on that.
I don't have any intention to do that.
I don't do,
So that way, we'll make sure that.
I don't do perms. We don't do perms as a salon. I'm sure if someone came in and asked for one, I'm sure there's somebody that would be like, yeah, sure. But we don't have that in the book, so it's not even bookable. You'd have to like ask somebody.
Are they becoming more popular though?
Not in our salon, no. I mean, there's still salons in town that do them, but
Yeah.
I don't do any kind of updos, weddings.
You don't?
No, not my thing, not my thing. And then I don't do any chemical service with formaldehyde. I don't do keratins, Brazilian glow.
Have you seen that salon on Instagram? I forget what it's called. They do keratins, but they all wear protective masks. They put in dryers. The clients wear protective masks. It's like
Yeah, it's
super
formaldehyde.
organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very nice to our lungs. I mean, it produces beautiful outcomes, but it's just not a service I'm passionate about. So.
Well, and it just seemed like such an expensive setup for everybody. It was a lot.
Try to
Yelly does a lot of them.
bring a what?
Like Brazilian blow-outs,
Oh.
keratins.
I noticed I use the bigger pot and oil.
Do you do the Brazilian blowout?
I don't. It's a synthetic form of formaldehyde. It's still formaldehyde, but I think they have a formaldehyde-free one, but because it's a service I don't want to do, I'm not going to start.
Yeah. Well, that's good, so they don't make you.
No. You know, Robert Philadelphia is not going to set you up for failure. So if you're not passionate about something,
Well, that's good.
Oh, you want to find out?
Yes.
we try to teach you everything. You know, some people like don't want to do men's cuts. I get it. I like men's cuts. They're some of my best clients. You know, some people are not passionate about men's cuts. They want to do more color. You know, as an associate, you're kind of at that
And you can bring here like
zone where you kind of have to learn everything. And then a couple years on the road, you can be like, okay, I'm really passionate about color. I want to focus more. See, Rob, I want to axe men's cuts. I don't want to do men's. And he's always willing to listen.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You want us to put them under the heater?
If you want to, just to excel some of the,
Okay. And should we wash this out then?
yeah, go ahead and wash that out. Or if anybody needs more lightener, you can scoop it in there. Does anybody need more lightener?
I might. Can I ask for your advice on something?
Yeah, sure.
But you need to finish these. Are you done?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
She's gonna put it under her dryer.
Oh, okay.
So I said if anybody needs more
Anyone
lightener.
needs more liner?
So when I try to create information, I over-drag. Can I say over?
Yeah, take it.
Liquid hand.
That's okay. This is all.
When you do that.
Okay, that's not like.
Go ahead. Yeah. So then you can use your fingers to like flatten it and really pull down. Even if you have to, like, I literally use my finger and I'm touching the bridge of her nose. Yeah. So don't be afraid to like.
Use your client a little bit?
Yeah. Well, she wants good hair, you know.
Yeah, right.
We can do this one.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think we'll get
Should
through.
be a little color block moment.
Yeah.
Love that.
And that's what you guys.
Design what you guys want to design. I mean, as long as you are understanding the tension, understanding the weave method, or a method of.
Next thing we're going to do is wash it.
That's up to you. I don't like foiling with gloves. Actually, I think it's much harder.
Yeah.
We never foil.
I never foil with gloves.
But we were, you know, in Muela, when you're supposed.
Yeah.
At school, you're supposed.
I
But
mean,
in real life,
we also have burned our fingerprints off with bleach.
I did 5 highlights. You probably went more, right?
That's fine. For the sake of time, we want you to, one, see what you've done. Some people are doing more, but 5 is, you know, good.
Yeah, I did mine to match that.
And then maybe Luann or Machina will let you tone it. Maybe you do, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a very ambitious
Yeah.
dream right there.
Okay, what?
Laying on, I don't know.
You can, oh, I put it under the dryer?
You can put it under heat. I mean, it's 40 volume, so it's going to process anyways. But you guys are out at what time? 2:30? Okay. Yeah, so you don't have to put it under heat with time. We'll probably head out at 2, so as long as we.
You can put it up for 10 minutes to accelerate the process. If you want.
If I want to.
And you say you're an introvert, but you don't come across that way.
I'm extremely introverted unless I'm placed in an extroverted setting.
Really?
I'm a homebody, trust me.
Well, you do a good job of that.
This industry forces you to be more extroverted. You have to learn to talk to people, and you have to, I don't know,
Do it with confidence?
listen more. Because your client's coming to you to spill their problems. They don't want to hear your problems, right? And sometimes people tell you their problems, and you're like, that's it?
Yeah.
That's what you're crying about? You know? But, you know, it is what it is. It's a beautiful industry, and it allows us to have flexibility and creativity. You know, we're not working in a cubicle, we're not working 9 to 5, we're working, and we're able to, you know, do what we please and within reason. You know, Robert Philadelphia does have a mission, so it's our goal to follow the mission of Robert Philadelphia and just succeed as a salon. You know.
I think it's cool when you get somebody who's, and there's a lot of characters to talk about, but doing really, really good on it, and look at a person and say, you know what, with your face, and some people just have it, and I know like when I've gone to get my hair colored, sometimes but like when I first moved to Naples, I said, who's a really good hair color, because I'm really, really picky. And I found a lady, it was really expensive, she didn't ask me what I wanted, and then she tried to tell me, oh, what a pretty honey color. And I'm like, no, it's under process. And it was really frustrating for me to find somebody that I like.
Yeah.
But then I found the lady that does my hair now, I really like the way she understands me. But some people are just good at it, and some people just want to get you in and out, you know?
Yeah.
I like to find those people that are really, really good at it, that, you know, can make certain accents.
Well, it's important for you as a stylist to be honest. If someone sits you in a chair and they're asking for your genuine opinion, they want to know, is this going to look good on me or am I going crazy, right? So my goal is to not make you spend hundreds of dollars just for the sake of me getting more money. I want them to be happy, and if I say, hey, I don't think that looks good on you.
Or even something simple like your book for highlights, but you don't need highlights today. I think a rubric watch today will be good, and that will mean less money for that day, for the company, and even you, because you get less paid. But you'll get that client forever, because they will trust you. And when you say, baby, I need to do everything on you, they'll be like, do whatever. You know, you get to achieve that level of confidence that they will be sometimes, because you want to know what they want, or if they want to change something, you do whatever you want, because they trust you so much. But that takes time and honesty. Like Daisy said, like if we don't make that much money that day, if we cancel the glaze or the highlights, whatever, or push the service to one more week, and not do it to get the client, do it with honesty.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's good. That's good that your salon does that. I've seen a lot of salons too push products, like if they want to get a product out. That's what I'm really leery about when I ask for a product, but not with the lady that I go to now, but when I ask for a product, I want somebody to give me an honest product that's good with my hair, not something that we're going to push it for this week to try to get sales. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to find people that are genuine like that.
And we have products in our salon, of course. We have our own product line. And then we have products like Yelly likes, or I might not be a fan of, or I like and she might not be a fan of. But clients will ask you for product advice. And if you come to our salon, you'll learn the 6 steps of Robert Philadelphia, and that's one of the steps is take home, right? It's only going to help us every appointment if you're doing what needs to be done at home to make our life easier, right? Like I said in the classroom, if I do a $600 highlight service and you go home and use 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash, you strip all the toner out, you strip everything I just did, and it bathes, and then you come back and it's just so brassy. David he never gets it right enough, or it's just always orange. I'm like, well, what are you using at home? Oh, whatever my husband buys. He don't care. He's buying a shampoo at Dollar General. Like, he's not, he doesn't care. He has no hair anyways. No?
Well, as long as you give them the advice, because I have clients that I've done Brazilians on, and they go like, I'm going to the beach, and I'm like, why didn't you book it before?
Yeah, they go on the ocean
Because
water.
they really want to look really nice for whatever party they have, so they know. At least they know that the Brazilian is not going to last the 12 weeks or whatever, and they know. So as long as we are honest with them, then it's fine.
That's good.
Are you almost done?
I'm done. I was just adding extra.
Oh, perfect.
You have to know how many people are working right now at the one in Benita.
How many?
I do come from Benita.
Oh!
How many people are working in Benita? I don't know number of people. Oh, she lives in Benita.
Right?
I don't know how many people. Do they need an associate in Benita?
Always do.
So if you want to, maybe a Saturday, go in and shadow, or
You can-
on your way home.
You can even come. I did this. I went to Bayfront first, and I love it there. And then I went to Bonita, which is far away from my house. But I just wanted to see how everything feels. I actually love it there too, but I just fall in love with Bayfront. So I 100% encourage you guys to go to the 3 locations and see how it feels, how you guys feel. And you'll see the difference because they're all, the location and the vibe on all of them is different. And you know, sometimes you will love it, even if it's a little bit farther. And that's what I thought, like even if it's a little bit farther than home, but I feel really good, I'd rather work on that, you know, on that location. So yeah, come to the 3 locations and see how you guys feel about it. Huh? They're trying to add more and
Yeah,
more.
so let's go ahead and wrap it up and let this be your last one. And then we'll process. Yeah. If you could put it under heat, a dryer on perm mode. Nuke it, yeah. Throw it in the microwave or something. So we can see the actual difference in what you did. And make sure you rinse out those bowls before Ms. Shaner yells at us.
You gonna do a bomb?
I say us because I will be included.
Is yours under the dryer?
Mine's already under the dryer.
It is 40 volume, so it is going to lift.
Fast.
It's going to lift, yeah. It won't be platinum, but it will lift.
Remember when we were doing something like this and I wanted to see how light the mannequin can go, and I did 40 for like 30 minutes on the heat and then
Oh, that's good.
see, really, oh.
So here's Raylan's end result.
Really nice.
It looks really
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? I did leave out, so the root tap that I did, you can see it kind of blended the hairline up top, but I left this out of the root tap. So that's why this goes up a little bit higher.
Lighter.
It's really pretty.
Thank you.
I like that glaze too.
913?
You know, the new one, they have a 1036
You use 913?
in clear, yeah.
Oh,
That's my go-to.
That's what you use last time.
Yeah.
That looks really good. It's 4:30.
I just have to leave it. RB2 to 10. Put the thing in my lunchbox. Okay. Yeah, she talked about that, but is that what you were talking about too? I don't think we'll have them shampoo, but definitely you can do it. I know she wants that, but it's hard to just throw it.
The last
5 minutes, yeah.
So she almost, I don't think you've ever see you with the hair in a ponytail. But this is why that kind of, section it's a nice introduction to highlights for the clients, or for the clients that don't want to have a, big transformation. They just want a little bit of dimension.
Yeah. And then Raylan's hair, we foiled face frame, and then we did a root smudge. So just to fuse the line right here so it doesn't go all the way up. But we didn't look up for me. We kept her money piece as bright, so we didn't do anything to the root around the face. So you can see her hairline on the sides. It just looks very natural. Sometimes Ray does pull her hair up in a clip or ponytail. So it just looks very natural. We always include the hairline because when they pull the hair up, you don't want a strip of blondes going back. You want it to look as natural as possible. So it looks really pretty. Thanks to our model. All right, so we're gonna let those process in about 10 minutes. We'll see what they lift to, rinse them, and then blow dry the front of them so we can see what the outcome is.
So for the next 10 minutes, you guys can put this room back together. The 9 of you, 8 of you, whatever there is.
All right. All right.
What's up?
I'm planning an internship where you guys come spend the day with us. One of your days that you're supposed to be here, you won't be here, but you'll be in the salon as a active assistant, essentially. Obviously, because you're not licensed, there's limited of what you can do, but you'll be working essentially for hours, and you'll get to see the day in and day out of a day in the salon, how it works, the role of Raylan and Aaliyah. And it's just a great opportunity so you can see in November when people are coming back and it becomes faster paced, you'll see how the operations work in the salon. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to come. I think it'll be like every day one of you, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I believe, because we're closed on Monday. So it'd be a great opportunity for you to see. And also, when I talked about that interview number 1, it's really that opportunity for you to interview us and get to know us as a salon. We encourage that because often, what if it's just not a good fit? Like, what if you just think it's not a good fit, right? So we would hate to bring you in and you just feel like you don't want to be there all day. So, you know what I mean? So it's a good opportunity, and I believe it will go on for how many weeks?
Not sure. Here.
So, I don't know, it's a great opportunity. And then you said you live in Bonita, right?
Yes, I do.
So maybe I'll have to talk to Ms. Shaner. If you have to come here first and then go to Bonita, it would make sense. But if you can go straight to Bonita, that'd be awesome. Because we're always hiring and we're always making sure that we fill in the roles. A lot of our associate program, again, is changing as we evolve as a company, and a lot of it depends on the eagerness of you. So this opportunity is a great way to see the operations on how we work, and then you guys get to work too. So she lives in Bonita. Would she have to come here first, or can she go straight to the salon? Because she can intern at the Bonita salon.
Just so we know.
Well, I want them to intern at both salons, so.
Oh, so like 1 week there, 1 week here?
She might be 1 week there, 1 week here. I want them to go to Venetian. I want them to go to.
Yeah. Because if she can go straight to Venetian.
Just because I signed Angela at Bayfront on the 5th of November, that's is theoretical, Angela. Doesn't mean that on the 12th, she's going to be at Bayfront. She might be at Venetian.
Okay.
So, I mean.
Yeah.
But do they still have to come here?
They don't come here that day.
Okay.
So you go straight to the salon?
You go straight to the salon. The salon tells me if you show up. If you don't show up, you're absent. It's that simple.
They would never do that.
Oh, what's wrong?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna enjoy that experience.
If you're late, they'll tell me you're late. I'm gonna give you the time they open for you to be there, and you will be there at that time. And you will work 6 hours and receive 5 hours and 45 minutes for it.
So,
and you won't be including your lunch, and there is no break. Just so you know, you're out in the salon.
So why are they the chosen ones? What's
These 3, 4, it's just whoever's graduating.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody else is in the second cohort?
Everybody else, the other 3 are going to Mulberry.
Oh,
I
Mulberry,
split
that's right,
between
that's right.
Mulberry
okay.
and Roberts, Philadelphia, because you 2 support the salon.
I forget the others.
And you 2 have.
Forget
I
that
work
one.
there, David, watch it. And the 2 of, your 2 salons support this program the most. You have the most of my students working.
Yeah,
So
we-
it was
we count
easy to
10
pick
today.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carrie has 1 location and she has 6.
Cool. All right, cool. Yeah, so you'll
And
definitely be working.
if Robert likes the way you're working or David likes the way you're working and they offer you a job, you're more than welcome to take the job. The thing is, when you're there for school hours, you're not working. Okay, there's no money involved in that. Okay, you're not paid by the hour. You're not an employee. You are there learning how a salon actually works. So like, you might walk in and David might say, yeah, today I want one of you, you know what, Diana, I want you working the desk. I want you to help whoever your desk person is on the desk today, okay? Getting drinks, things like that, having them fill out new client information, whatever, okay? So that you can find out how that works. This isn't just about, going in and, but the person that works at the desk also helps to fold towels, also helps to do dishes, also, so there's a lot of things that go into it. The reason I'm doing this is because I haven't been able to open up the clinic, so this is my way of getting you some experience with, working with humans. And yes,
And our
you will be working, because if I find out you aren't working, I will pull you out and I will be yelling at David. Okay?
Our clients are very used to.
And you will be in
student.
uniform
Yeah. Yeah.
with badges. You're not allowed, if you have to have the
Uniform?
badge on. If you're at Roberts of Philadelphia under Lorenzo Walker, you have to have the uniform and the badge on, period. If you don't, you're not working, just like here. And it says it right in Mr. DeLella's contract, that you have to be in uniform. He read it today, right, Mr. DeLella?
I did, I read all of it. I did, I saw it.
So
Well,
you
they're
have
black,
to be
so
in uniform.
It's
They're black,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's their black.
And they're used to students. I mean, what you guys aren't realizing is people are gonna be happy to see you there in your uniforms with your badges on. And they're gonna ask questions of like David and Elisa. And if he's standing around, they're gonna be asking him, what's the deal with the students? Why are you're so special, you get students? Because you don't see you guys out and about. Mm-hmm.
And it's a great opportunity for you guys to keep asking questions, even to the style. Even if we're working, we're used to like, what are you doing? Why are you taking that section and all that? And our clients are used to that, so.
Cool.
So it'd be there, you don't have to have the mindset that you're there as an outsider, because you are a part of our family there, so you represent us. They're gonna see you in black and expect that you are who we are, and you are. You obviously have a heart that loves to give to other people. That's why you're in this business. So while you're there, it doesn't have to be like you're an observer. You're actually there to, you may not have all the answers to what people need, but you know how to serve people and take care of people. So
And you can go
your
in somebody
graciousness,
and help you.
that's all you need to do. So you're not the newbie. You're not, because you guys are the veterans here. So when you go over there, you'll be, just right at home, and it's okay to just step right in and do whatever it takes, and to be there.
I told them to make you
be
work.
welcoming. They know that as a representative of our family and our organization, that we have like, these guys are top of the tier. These guys are amazing. To who you got to be with today, I love being around them because they make my life better. I always feel better when I'm around them, and that's the feelings that people get when they come in the salon. They just love the energy, the vibe. It just, because there's people there, 20 people there who all care about her having a great experience, and that's your role, just there to support everybody else and having a great experience and whatever that takes. So, you know, you don't have to be all shy and waiting in the corner and acting like, who am I? I'm not one of them yet. Because you are. You're a part of that. So what we expect of you is to be there and to serve the family and the team. So
Yeah.
we're honored to
Have
have
your
you.
hair done, like even if you're using, wearing the uniform, like.
Well, what
clean
time do you
makeup.
start? 9:30?
Typically, people start at 10, but they start getting there at 9:30. So we try to get there 30 minutes before the first client. So we
You're
can
gonna start at 9:30. I think you can all get your makeup and hair done by 9:30.
For sure.
You can have a clean uniform, it can be pressed and whatever it needs to be.
wear comfortable shoes because you'll be standing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Comfy cute.
Okay. Yep.
Do you have any
And I told
questions?
him to make you work.
Any questions about it? Are you excited?
And you'll
do
get to
that?
see how the current associates work day in, day out, like what Ray was talking about, pulling formulas, where to look for the formulas, how to pull color. So Ray doesn't necessarily mix my color, but she can pull the tube. So I literally just walk up to the counter and I'm like, you know, so Ray I can only speak of Ray, but Ray works, we're almost like in tune. I can literally look across the salon and be like, and she'll be like, okay, you know, because she knows what I'm talking about. And you'll get time to sit down, let's go pull this quick batch of towels, and then I have to do another shampoo, or whatever the case may be. And then you'll be a part of that too. And actually it'll be a huge help to them having extra bodies there so we can all work together. So.
You know, and you will be the assistants to the associates. You're not associates, you're assistants. You do not have a license.
I have a question for all of you. What are you leaving here with today? So somebody asked you what you did in the program today. What would you tell them about today?
That we truly learned the proper way to do face framing.
The hands-on part of it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, engaging and
Seeing the
understanding and knowing how and why you guys did everything. It was nice to learn that.
Awesome.
Especially from a point of view that we're all going to see something different, and we can all put input on how things are done.
Yeah. And your level of professionalism. That's what I like. You take a lot of pride, and I'm not just saying that, I'm very honest, but you take a lot of pride in what you do and you can see it. You know, the work that you do. I get why people pay you a lot of money.
Well, for you.
Just the whole associates program thing. He already told me about it before when he came here, but just going more just going more into that, and it was nice knowing more info about that.
Just seeing how it's evolving, or what you guys are changing, or what you guys are gonna do differently, or how everything is applied to somebody. It's good to know that. I mean, it's not that I wasn't convinced last time. It's just that it's even more intriguing now. I understand. And
now that we're about to graduate.
I really like that you guys truly care about the client, because I know a lot of people don't care. They just care about the money.
And your employees.
Yeah. I really like that you guys truly care.
And you invest in your people. Yes. You don't just go get them off the street. Welcome to the patch start cutting hair.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
It is an investment. It's an investment on you too. And a lot of people don't, a lot of students are eager, especially we go to other schools and they're just eager. They want to open a suite right away. I'm like, hold on, how are you going to fund that? How are you going to make the money to pay? There's money involved. So this program really allows you to perfect. And that's not to say you'll never make a mistake. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, but we learn from the mistakes. And each time I do make a mistake, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that again. And it's ingrained in my head. And our goal is to obviously create revenue and retain clientele, but also to create an environment where we like to be there. We don't ever want to be in a place where we don't want to be.
We've gotten really good at weeding out those that we can tell don't want to be there, or they want to be there for the wrong reasons. And we've held on to some people too long in that case, but we've gotten really good at making sure that everyone who's there, and David's my guiding light for that, to make sure who we have there is they're all in to help everybody's life around them be better, and not just me. There's not any big egos in there. Everybody's there to lift each other up. Some incredible talent incredible. You saw their work today. I mean, incredible talent, but so much humility too. You know, so much giving. You know, everyone. That's the unique thing about everybody there is they love to give. So there's nobody that's better than anybody else. They love to share. There's no secrets. They'll give you everything they got because they want you better. The better you are, the better they are. So
If I win, you win. If you win, I win.
That's good.
You know, we all
And
win.
that's a base that your father put out
Yeah.
from the beginning, because he taught everyone, and then all the senior stylists that are there also, some of them taught us, and then we are very happy to pass out everything that we know. It's not like, oh, I want to keep this for me because I don't want anyone to.
All right, let's go check your dolls and we'll.
Yeah, very tight.
It's 2 o'clock.